Yeah. Yeah. Ay, Mike check 1, 2, James is back on the screen. The 007 with a mission that's clean. He's diving in the text from the Sahih Bukhari to the verse, laying out the logic, making sure they rehearse. He breaks the Islamic dilemma, the ultimate trap. Let the Quran confirms the Bible, why the gap in the map? Be citing Surah 547 like a heavyweight chant. Why the critics try to dim him and extinguish his lane? He's the truth teller, yeah, the TikTok ghost. The winner moderator seen they hate the most. Better on account, he just starts up anew. James 007, bringing plain stellar truth. Manifesting in the comments, yeah, the pressure is high, but he's standing on the rock while the hours go by. Yeah, they say he's too rude, but he calls it the facts. Navigating TikTok guidelines through the cracks and the hacks. He knows the history better than the ones who complain. Breaking down the sunnah and the surah like rain. The reports start frying when the argument's it, but he's got 1,000 backups. He ain't gonna quit. From the Quran cosmological to the life of the prophet, he's got a fire in the spirit and nobody can stop him. So check the live stream, see the numbers start to climb. Another debate, another soul, another time.
Tap that screen and share. These Abduls keep blocking me.
It's up to you to tap and share. T. Talk hates me cause I tell the truth. Muslims hate me because they can't refute me. So they do what they do best. They report me. Come get me. I'm protected by the armor of Jesus.
Amen, amen, amen. God bless, God bless, God bless. That's right. So, that music was Kefa. Kefa just made that intro for me. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So today, we are having the topic about, again, Muslim woman in Islam. And the thing is, when it comes to Muslim women in Islam, we're still trying to understand, because again, we're still trying to understand who built the Kaaba. We're trying to understand the religious practices. We want to understand, just this different stuff. And it's hard. It's truly hard. It's hard trying to understand. It's hard trying to understand, man. So, so I just thought I'll continue on that, because I want to show the videos, right? I will definitely do that, Chris. Definitely do that. Once he's there? Okay, let me just do this. Add as mod. There we go. Man, I love it, my man. Love the video, love the intro. Love it, love it, love it. I'm using it as a video instead of an intro song because I can't make the video. So, man, love it, love it, love it. Now, I was about to change that's right. So let me just, Muslims request, I just, how was the question going to ask? Does Islam treat women good? Does Islam treat women? Okay, are women treated good? What is the question we are asking? Does Islam empower women? Is that a good question to ask these mu'minuns? Is that a good question? Is that a good question? Is that what we're trying to? Is that what we're trying to find out? We'll go with that. We'll go with that today, right? We'll go with that today, and we will see. We'll see how this goes. So again, guys, tap, please tap. You guys know from the song that I would need you guys to tap, because it's not gonna. They don't want my accounts to be shared. They don't want my accounts to be promoted. So unfortunate. So what I did today was I remove, and I went to find videos, again, by Muslims when it comes to Islam and what they think about. And then I'm going to show you the contra. So what the Muslim says, and then we're going to see whether it's true as to how the women are treated, whether they're following what it says. And I can't wait to show you the Zakir Naik video. So there's a Zakir Naik video where he blames the woman. He literally blames the woman. So if she gets raped, it's her fault. And it's saying that there's wisdom in it because he's testing the guy that's raping and he's testing the woman. Now this is the craziness of this entire conversation, is that Muslims believe that, okay, life is a test. But and this is where we're going to find, for example, now, unfortunately, I am trying to find the videos that I had on my main account as opposed to the one on the screen, but the same videos don't keep coming up. I think I found some of them, but I can't find the Zakir Naik. I will find it at some point, but I want you guys to see how much of love there is and how Islam frees the woman. How freeing it is to be a woman in Islam. We have got this guy called Saad, Sheikh Saad, and how he as well, talks about women. And it's interesting, very interesting. I was going to do an entire live just based on this guy called Sheikh Saad, because man, this dude, he's funny, but man, this dude, you can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. So, once we get this all started, we hope that Muslims will join. So let me add the link over here, and on this, paste there. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so it's on StreamYard now. The link is attached. And for those that want to join, just remember that you don't need to have StreamYard to join. We don't need StreamYard to join. And we take it from there. You don't need StreamYard to join. I've got a guy called Heresy Check on TikTok. Heresy Check, how are you, sir?
This is Dawn.
Okay, Dawn. I keep forgetting. I forget, man.
Yeah, no. I thought I'd just stay up here for a few minutes so my followers might see this live because it's restricted and stuff.
Lovely jubbly. Well, hang on a second. It's not restricted yet. We got
Okay, good.
I got 8 minutes with no restrictions. I don't think that.
Because I don't know if my reposts are working for your live, so I just come on a suggest to drive some more people just in the beginning. But I'm gonna AFK because I can't listen to this topic.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine, because this topic again is a hard topic, not for everybody. This topic is hard. It's a difficult topic, and it's forcing people. It's forcing us to accept certain things and to ignore certain things. So again, this topic is, as I said, it's a difficult topic because we are forced to accept that Islam teaches that women can be treated in some weird ways, some weird ways. And we're not happy with that. We're not happy with that. I'm just trying to find one more image to share. How do I find that? Where do I search that? Let me just go there. Images. Oh, there we go. There. And then where'd you go? Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the videos as usual. And now that we have these videos available to us, we need to ask ourselves, well, if it's true, now again, I'm just saying, if it is true, what Muslims are forcing us to believe, right? If Muslims are forcing us to believe that, yes, women were given the rights and yada, 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 then, if they were given the rights, well, what rights were they given? The right to be stoned, the right to be beaten, the right to be used as dingy slaves. What rights were the woman given? And because and I'll say this, yes, guys, according to Islam, yes, there are certain things when Muhammad talks about loving the mother and doing all this amazing things for your mums and all this stuff. Yes, if that's what you wanted to say, then cool. That's beautiful. If that's what you honestly believe it should say or does say, then great. My problem isn't that. My problem is I can say to you that you need to love and treat someone nicely, but then all of a sudden I'm showing you the opposite. I'm showing you the opposite. So I'm saying to you, hey, love your wives, while at the same time I'm saying strike them. You notice that it's not consistent. It's not consistent in Islam. And if this is not consistent, how are we empowering these women? How do women get empowered? We watched, there's videos at the Kaaba where these women get SA'd, squashed up, touched up, felt up, squeezed up, all this stuff in this religion at the Kaaba, the holiest site of Islam. So all I'm saying now is, well, what does Islam actually teach? What does it teach, and is Islam for everyone? That's where we at today. Right now, this is where we at. Is Islam for all women? What is this? What Allah is teaching us? Is this what Muhammad wants us to believe? In fact, one of the things that I'm talking about today is going to be about Aisha, when little girl Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. Why would she say that, people? Why would she say something that awful if it wasn't true? I'm just asking the question. Why would she say that? What makes it okay for her to say something like that and get away with it? Why doesn't Muhammad, say to her, no, you treated the best in the world. No, don't think like that. Come on, how dare you say something so silly? You know that you treated great. No, he doesn't say that, does he? Doesn't say that. Because we can see that throughout when we're looking at this religion, unfortunately, it doesn't say the things that the Muslims wanted to say. That's why I thought today we'll let the Muslims speak. I'm going to show you the videos today, and the videos we're going to look at are going to show us how these people, there's the first restriction. We're going to look at the first ones and see how these women are actually treated. Are they treated with love? Are they told that they're the best of creatures? Absolutely. This is what they are told. This is what they've been told in this religion. They're told this. So I want to find what's his name, Zakir Naik first. I want this video to play first, where he talks about the woman and how if she is SA'd, if she gets dingy-dingied, how it's her fault. Why aren't these videos coming up? What in the world, man? I should have checked this out on the computer first, because I was doing it on my phone and I found it on my phone, but I need to start with that particular one, because that will show you guys, that will set the standard, teach you guys. And we can also look at the hijab and the niqab and how important it is in Islam, how important this is in Islam, right? And how it's the woman that needs to protect herself, because the man doesn't know how to just lower his gaze. That's how crazy it is. The woman doesn't know how to look after herself, and this is the craziness of this whole thing. It's the woman's fault for getting raped, because it's a test on both the man and the woman. Okay, I've got another guest over here on, but he's with his name he can't be a Muslim. Kafir, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. You're not a Muslim, correct?
I was a Muslim, but not now. I'm an ex-Muslim from Pakistan, basically. So yeah,
So why did you leave Islam, my man?
it's been like 3 years now, and I've been
Why?
doing
What was the
the
reason? What made you leave?
because I started reading the Quran and all. I mean, with tafsir and with tarjumas and all stuff. Tarjuma is just like translation. So I started reading, and when I just went out from the Pakistan, so I decided to leave this, cult for sure. So yeah,
So hang on a second. You read the Quran and that caused you to leave Islam? Is that what you're
exactly.
saying? But it should have been the opposite. Apparently,
I mean, I didn't understand what.
to read the Quran is supposed to bring you into Islam. So I agree with you. I've read the Quran, and for me,
Are you a
I
Muslim?
run
So
faster
that
than Forrest Gump, man. Sorry, go on.
are you a
Go on.
Muslim? I mean,
No,
if you
sir.
go through with the hadiths,
I'm not.
do you know Arabic or what?
No, I don't. Well, I know
Sorry.
I read it in English. I don't read it in Arabic. I don't speak Arabic, but I've read the Quran several times. To me, it's absolute rubbish, and anyone that believes what's in the
Okay.
Quran is really brain dead. So I am bringing awareness to, for example, in Pakistan, right? In Pakistan, you've seen how men treat their women, correct? Muslim men. You've seen that?
It is clearly mentioned there as well. So wife beating is allowed. There is no problem. Sahih al
But no,
Bukhari
I'm
two six
asking
five
you,
eight.
my man, according to what you've seen and experienced in Pakistan, can you agree? I'm just getting a lot of hate speech on my main account, guys. On my TikTok, go to the Agents 007. Go to my bio. Follow me to YouTube. I've got now 3 restrictions for this topic. Is this empowering woman? I'm getting hit with restrictions because the Muslims are, you know, if these Muslims trusted their God and their books, they wouldn't report me. They would request up and prove that I am wrong. But we'll get there in a second. Sorry, my man. So you telling me that in
Yeah, that's
Islam,
okay.
have you seen men beat their wives in Islam?
Tons of time, I would say, because if I talk about my family, it was very secular sort of family in the very initial, but
So do you agree that
move
striking your
into,
wife is a
we
bad
just
thing, or
moved
do
out
you think it's a
from.
good thing?
I've seen such cases as well. So yeah,
What about child marriage in Pakistan? Have you ever seen children get married off in Pakistan?
definitely yes, exactly. I have a couple of videos as well stating the same thing because when I was just child, like my parents used to take me
You got a bad connection, my man.
somewhere basically. So, but yeah, I've seen a lot of videos. I have friends as well because I do have my YouTube channel. I used to debate with the Muslims
Okay, you got a very bad connection, so I'm gonna
Urdu
let you
and
go.
Hindi. So yeah, I have couple of you know
You keep falling out, my man. You keep falling out. But thank you so much for joining. God, take care. God bless. And yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna start watching some videos, and I'm gonna start with Zakir Naik. And we're gonna see now. This is gonna set up the premise. This is gonna set up the argument. This is gonna set up, and I want to know now if Muslims that are listening in accept and agree with this guy called Zakir Naik. Now, apparently, Zakir Naik is supposed to be a very learned person, a very intelligent person, someone that people are still listening to, people are still trusting. So let's go to Zakir Naik and see what he says when it comes to this topic and about the Muslims and a woman. Okay, so let me get it ready over here. Where we at now? Where we at? So let's see if it's true what Aisha said when it came to the worst treated woman. She said, there's no one that has been treated worse or more badly than Muslim woman. So let's check this out.
That if hypothetically you rape a girl and you murder her, that is this not injustice to the girl who was raped and murdered? And I would say no. Because both the person who raped is undergoing a test in this world, the person who was raped also is undergoing a test. And let me explain to you that Allah has given guidelines to the women that they should dress up modestly, they should cover the complete body, except those parts can be seen that is the face. Now, if after giving all these guidance, a girl doesn't dress up modestly, she is dressed up immorally, which people get excited and the rape is done, who's to blame? It is the girl to blame. That if...
Did you hear what he said? Who's to blame? Who's to blame, he said. If the girl gets dingied, who's to blame? Who's to blame, people? Who do we blame? Because this is a test on the man and the woman, and what she should have done, the silly girl, is dressed appropriately. The silly girl should have dressed appropriately. Now, this would have stopped her from getting dingied. This would have stopped her from being abused by taken advantage of. Now, this is the start, right? This is now how we're going to see. And I mean, he got 315 views on this video of the person that put this out. Now, obviously showing that they're against this. They're against this. But now I'm going to show you how the Muslim wants you to believe that a woman should be treated. So this is just setting it up. According to Zakir Naik and Muslims, they believe that if a woman does something wrong or gets, essayed or messed up and stuff, it's her fault. Now, I'm going to show you that Sheikh Saad as well said that if a daughter gets raped by her father, it's her fault for dressing provocatively in front of her father. But we need to tap. We need to tappity tap and share. We need to tap and share because the more people that get exposed to this, the more people are going to stop running to this cult. Now, remember, there's this woman called Lily J, and I've got a few of her videos that I was watching yesterday, but she is one of the, she is as fast as a cow with no engine and no wheels. That's how, she's like a butter knife in a sword fight. There's nothing in this woman. And again, she was talking about going to, she was in an airport, and she went to go and pray. Of course, when she went to pray, she had to stand behind her husband to pray. Again, showing us that they're not equal, that she is behind. Right? Now, according to Zakir Naik, he's saying that, hey, all you got to do, man, is to do your thing. Don't, it's okay, do your thing. Right? And there's this other sheikh that I'm trying to understand that, man, anyway, we're going to go now to my brother Bob. Speaker Corner Bob.
Yes,
and he is, I'm blessed to have him in a group that we are in. We're in a group, and I'm blessed to have him there. And the beauty is that he's got all these videos, and he's done such an amazing job. And I pray one day I'll be able to stand by him, next to him. It's at Speaker's Corner, and we can do this together. And so we're just gonna look now at another video, right? Oh, I didn't see that. Marcus. And he didn't say, let me just check the group. Hang on a second. Well, I can't do it. I'm on screen. Hang on, I can't. Where did it go? Just give me 2 seconds, guys. What happened to where'd my Telegram go? Ah, okay. So I'm not seeing any of that just yet, but that, that's typical. Hopefully he gets a, let me just see. Well, he hasn't said anything, and no one has said anything, so we good. I'll check. I've spoken to him directly. We it's all through chats and stuff, and we will find out more. He'll tell us. In Whitechapel. Well, Whitechapel. It shouldn't be called Whitechapel anymore. Oh my Lord. Anyway, let's go to the next video. So the next video, again, this is now Bob at Speaker's Corner. And we're going to see now just a conversation about treatment of women under Sharia, right? And this is just an example again. Muslims, they're just going to teach us, they're going to show us how to treat women and what is lawful and what's not lawful. Now, remember, we haven't even gotten to the point where, well, we will. We're going to see how women are treated.
It's a terrible system of law. It really is terrible.
It's their own law. They have their own law.
So let me ask you this. Let me under Sharia law. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. In Sharia law, do you know what misyor marriage is? Do you know what misyor marriage is?
You have a lot of things to say.
Do you know what misyor marriage is? And you do a lot of obfuscating and a lot of running away. What is misyor marriage? What is misyor marriage?
I'm not having a debate with you.
Yeah. What is misyor marriage? Right, I'll tell you what misyor marriage is. I'll tell you what misyor marriage is. I know you're not. I know you're not. I can tell you're not. But you're trying hard. You're like a little toddler in the deep pool, drowning. Right? Let me try and help you. Under Islamic marriage, a man can marry 4 women, but a woman cannot marry, but a woman cannot marry 4 men. How is that fair for women? How is that fair for women? Show me the verse where it says they should stay silent.
Stay silent in the Bible.
No.
Yes, that's what it says. Women should stay silent. Not only that, you teach
You're
women.
misquoting a verse that you don't know.
You teach women to worship a man.
Stop avoiding the topic of misyor marriage and polygamous marriages.
A man is a god in your religion.
In Islam, a man can beat his wife on the suspicion that she has done something wrong. Under Islam, a man can enter into a nikah with a woman in which she surrenders some of her basic Sharia rights.
Right. I'm not saying,
but there is no marriage in which a man gives up his basic rights. Under Sharia law, thank you for admitting Sharia law has bad things. Thank you for admitting Sharia law has bad things.
And what about Christianity?
And it is.
Are you going to admit that?
Show me one. Yeah, show me one. Show me one.
What about that?
Right. So when you can engage with what I'm talking about, I'm willing to engage with what you're talking about.
How they were treated just 100 years ago in this country.
Let's talk about how Muslim women are treated today in Islamic society. Today, not 100 years ago. Today. Thank you very much. I've got
today, Christian women have to worship a man. That's what you're talking to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and in Islam, you justify marital abuse. In Islam, you justify secret marriages that have harmed women. Polygamous marriages are well known for causing distress and harm amongst the women and the children. In Islam, you can have secret marriages. Secret marriages, that's called adultery. Do you know what that's called? It's called adultery. It's adultery. Why is Islam permitting adultery? Yeah? Bring them. Bring them. Bring whichever Muslim you want. I'll debate them right now. Anyone you want. Mansour, Hashim, Mohammed Hijab, Ali Dawa, Shamsi. I'll debate anyone you want to bring. Anybody. Right?
You have not answered.
You haven't answered. You haven't answered. All you've done is change the subject.
Okay.
Is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong to punish people on suspicion alone? Answer that question. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Notice, right? So I've got good news when it comes to this video. Anyway, notice how the guy deflects, runs to the Bible and tries to point at the Bible. But ladies and gentlemen, the guy that's arguing left Islam and became a Christian. The guy that's defending the Quran in this video, he became a Christian. He left Islam, he shaved, he cleansed himself, he made himself, and he came back to Speaker's Corner and apologized. The guy left Islam, returned to Speaker's Corner, and apologized for making excuses, for arguing. He left Islam. So when you guys think, or Muslims especially think that, this is falling on deaf ears, no one's really listening, no one really cares. At some point, when you're sitting by yourselves and you all alone, and you asking yourselves these pertinent questions, you actually doing some self-reflection, and you say to yourself, man, is what this dude said, is that true? Does the Quran actually say that? Do these people actually believe that? And then you go back and you go and check it. That's what you find. You find truth. I've said this before, and for those that are new to my channel, God bless you. I've said this before. When you go buy fruit, you check it. When you buy a car, you check it. When you buy a house, you check it. When you're dating someone, you check it. Why not check the religion you're choosing? Why not check it before you go take that shahada, before you sell your soul? Check it, make sure that the religion you are walking into is okay with the rest of your belief systems, that you don't agree, for example, because by becoming a Muslim, you have to be okay that you're allowed to strike your wife. Becoming a Muslim, you have to be okay that you can marry and penetrate a prepubescent. This is not optional. You can't. No, you have to believe everything in the Quran as it is, and you have to accept it 100% without saying, I'll take some and I'll leave out others. That's right, Phil. You got to check it. You got to check it, because by checking it, you're making sure that it's okay and aligns with what you think is good. Now, I've never met anyone, that normal person that's like, you know what, I'm going to become a Muslim. I'm just going to ignore the dingy with children, without me looking at them thinking, you an absolute donut. Check it. But this guy left Islam. He turned his back on it after checking it. He checked it. He found it didn't go according to it was just too sick. Why? Because we have the evidence. We have the evidence. We've got what we need to present to Muslims. This is what your God is saying. This is what the Quran is teaching. This is what you guys want us to believe. And how do they start getting you in? They'll talk about, it's fine. You're supposed to love your mother. She's like, you must be beneath the feet of your mother. He's saying be beneath the feet of your mother, while at the same time saying that your mother is equal to a dog and a donkey. That's what he's saying. That's what the Quran teaches, or the Hadiths teach, coming from Allah, coming from Muhammad. That's what they're teaching. Check it. Don't just walk into it, because when you walk into it, you'll see. Now I'm going to show you how the woman should be treated. Now, this again is by a guy called Mufti Menk, who I would love to have a debate with. I don't call out people for debates and stuff. I would love to debate this dude on I love the free will. I would love to debate him on free will. I would love to debate him on the topic of women in Islam, right? But I'm going to just show you a video now of how they sell Islam, how they sell Islam to the public, and how the public is sucked into it. And I'm not sure if this is the right video, but it's a minute long. I don't mind wasting another minute over here trying to figure out if this is a true the video I'm looking for or not. But it's always interesting watching and learning from a Muslim. Mother Okay, so what's this, right? Now again, this is good. Remember, this is good. This is good. You're supposed to give love to your mother. But how can you continuously give love to your mother when the hadiths are teaching you that she's equal to the devil? She's equal to the dog and a donkey. That hellfire is full of women like her. Because all these women that are in hellfire are mothers, or most of them are mothers. So it's saying that these mothers that you love and whatever, it's okay. They're going to be disobedient to their husbands. They equal to dogs and donkeys. These are half brains. These people over here should be, struck according to Surah 434. That these women that are your mothers can be penetrated while they're still prepubescent. This is what so you see, this is the beauty now. So what they're saying, this is beautiful. Islam is amazing. Islam has all this amazing stuff. It's beautiful. MashaAllah, it's beautiful. Beautiful, absolutely lovely. While at the same time teaching you that, yeah, it might be that beautiful, but unfortunately, that's what happens to them when they disobey, when they commit zina, when they do stuff, you put them in a hole. The same mother must be walked around like this, covered, can just barely see her eyes if you do. That's the mother. This is a mother to some people. This is a mother. They want you to believe that a mother, a woman in Islam, should be treated like that. That's what they're teaching you. That's what they're saying. Imagine that. That's what they're alluding to. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they
Did you know?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get this next video ready. But again, this is what they want you to believe. Now I'm going to show you another one where it's a Muslim is going to explain how women are treated in Islam if they don't wear the hijab and the burqa properly, right? Again, notice these are Muslim videos promoting Islam, telling people to come to Islam. Why would anyone come to Islam if this is how you're supposed to treat the woman? And why would women, especially them, want to leave common sense for this? Now, I don't condone the videos I'm showing you, TikTok. So I'm just showing what Muslims have given us. Now, this is on TikTok. What's the bet? I will lose my TikTok because, again, I just said it, right? I got hate speech. I just got it right now. And I just, this is the craziness. Just got it. Hang on. So I'm restricted 100% on TikTok now, on all different levels, from stop showing it in certain countries, it's restricted in certain regions, restricted to different audiences, restricted to the shares, restricted to the, man, you can't make this up. Now, again, TikTok has a problem. TikTok has a problem with the videos, but our societies don't. Our societies don't have a problem. Let me just read this from Sir Gecko. He said, Ephesians 5:25, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Come to Christ. Absolutely. God bless you for that, my man. Thank you so much. At some point, can someone please explain to me the green in the chats? Is that memberships? Is that memberships? The green in the chats? When people are writing, I see some are green. Now, I saw that there's 10 members that have started give members. Thank you so much, guys, for the memberships. Really, really appreciate it. And I've heard so many other people say, I wish we had, better. I'm not saying this to you guys, but I'm talking about finances, so you can do this more often. Do it, go street dawahs and for the Christians, of course. And man, I see why it can be something great. But yeah, man. So you should get emojis to use. Don't know what that means. I don't know any of this stuff, man. New member. Okay, so you see now I get it, right? I think I get it. So that's so thank you, man. Thank you so much. Don't know what that means really, to be honest, but I just say thank you. not sure exactly how to interpret that, but anyways. But let's get back to this video. Let me remove that, but thank you again. How do you remove that? Where did that? Okay. Thank you so much, Burgundy. And Chris, okay. Emojis are mini pictures like, okay. Well, come on, man. I've been doing TikTok for too long. I'm just learning this this stuff. Anyway, let's keep going. So again, please remember this, people. The videos that I'm showing you are Muslims teaching us. So now we're gonna just watch a new one, right? And if I mute it, it's because TikTok gets me for YouTube gets me for copyright. So he's just showing you how to cover, how to strike them if they don't cover properly. See that? Cover. You see? My lord. My lord. Did you guys see that? Now I didn't create this video. This is literally how to control the woman if she is not wearing the hijab and the burqa properly. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to remind them gently without leaving marks or breaking any bones that, guess what, honey? You're not wearing it properly. Right? We're going to watch this again. Watch this again. MashaAllah. Look at that. Look at the love. That's a miswak, I'm sure. He even messed his hand. Look at that. The blood all over his hand. Was it? You know? Look at that. That's not a tap. Look at it, man. That's right. That's right. If my account disappears, please go to the YouTube. Go to the YouTube. The Agents 007. The link is in the bio. I'm sure that this is going to be taken down. I'm sure, because, you know, when you show truth, these people don't like it. They don't like it. They don't like it. They don't like it. But again, that's an example. That's an example of how women are to be treated. This is the craziness of this entire thing. This is how the women are told that they should be treated. I just want to see this. No, that's a woman that's taking off the veil because she can't be bothered. She can't be bothered. So what do you guys think so far? Does Islam sound appealing to you? Does Islam sound something that, oh, hang on a second, let me become a Muslim. Let's take the Shahada because it looks great. Why? Why in the world would I want to become a... Now I'm going to play you a video as to why they think it's okay, right? I'm going to show you a video on how the Muslim is going to explain how beautiful Islam is. So far we've seen how you set them straight, and I haven't gone to hadiths yet. I haven't gone to the Quran yet. It's open for the Muslims to request. But check this out. This guy is going to make it extremely clear how beautiful it is to be a Muslim. How amazing it is to be a Muslim. Talking about the woman, it's always the man talking about the woman.
About the status of women in Islam, then let me share with you what our Prophet ﷺ taught us about women. And remember, what I'm about to mention, he ﷺ is addressing men here. He said, whoever is in charge of daughters and treats them generously, then they will act as a shield for him from the hellfire. He said about mothers, stay with your mother and be dutiful to her, for paradise lies beneath her feet, which means serving your mother will get you to paradise. He said about wives, the world and all things in this world are precious, but the most precious thing in this world is a virtuous woman. And to conclude, he said, "Fear Allah with regards to your treatment of women. I don't know of any belief system that places as much emphasis on the treatment of women and elevating their status than Islam. And remember, Islam came over 1400 years ago and was delivered to a backward nation who used to torture and abuse women. This broke the status quo and challenged the narratives at the time. Oh, and let's not forget, just a few hundred years ago in Britain, they were debating if a woman had a brain or not. See, Islam was ahead of its time and is not a religion of women's rights, but it's a religion that empowers justice, kindness, and honorable treatment for women, elevating their status in this world and a means of entry to paradise for those who take care of them well. Because the true nature of a woman is wanting to be loved and looked after, and Islam is the religion that encourages that the most. If you're confused,
Islam is the religion that encourages it the most. Now, let's just understand, man. Let's just understand. So now, the woman has been elevated to the top. She's elevated so high, she's still beneath the man. Not only that, she's elevated so high, she's going to be allowed into paradise. But the question is, when she gets there, what's her job going to be? What are they going to do to her in paradise? That's right, Muslims, I'm talking about your mama. Not the battle of your mama, but your mama. Talking about your mothers, that when they get to paradise, what's going to happen to them? That's right. Their only job is to lie on their backs so the husbands can enjoy them. That's it. Once again, even in paradise, Allah is going to be the one that's going to be taking the man, putting her above the woman. Now, I got another video to show you. I need to find it though, where it says that this is for the Sunni tunes on Friday, but I'm going to show it to you today as well, where the guy said, when you do dingy dingy to your wife, never let your wife be on top, because that shows she's dominating you, meaning you're a weak man and that you could be a rainbow guy. If your wife is on top, it means that you can become a weak guy. TikTok's got 47 people, even though I'm restricted. So now that's another video. Not sure if you guys have heard that one before. Don't let your woman get on top of you, because that will mean she's dominating you, and that's a sign that you're a weak man. When I watched that, I swear, man, you think you hear everything, or you're doing this for such a long time, you've heard most of it. That's crazy. But now I just want you to see that this is how they sell Islam to the woman. This is how Islam is presented to the woman. We've given you treatment the best ever, before anyone ever lived, before any other society, and we giving you the right to be struck if I fear disobedience. We give you the right to be one of the 4 wives. We give you the right to be penetrated if I'm your right hand possessed. We give you the right to be equal to a woof woof and a Eeyore. This is see, you see what they do? They suck you in with this. Now the weak-minded, the weak people get sucked in because they don't know the truth. They don't know the truth. So what do? They jump in with both feet. Both feet. They go, yippee-ki-yay, mofo, I'm jumping in. Because they don't know the truth. That's Islam for you. This is the craziness. This is what they want you to believe. So what do? They lie to you, and then they present Islam to you in this way. And they're saying to you, come to Islam. Come to Islam. But they're not telling you that Aisha said she's not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. They don't say that. No, they don't. No, they don't say that, because they know that if they say that, then that's going to cause trouble, isn't it? That's going to cause a lot of trouble. I've not seen any woman suffering more than the believing woman. Why would she say that if Islam is so great, if Islam is so amazing?
Have you ever heard?
Why? Why would anyone, if you had the best food in the world, you're not going to go around telling people the food was awful. And if you have the worst food in the world, you're not going to tell people the food is the best. So Aisha, she gets first-hand experience about this religion, and she's like, hey, man, hang on a second, dude. Islam can't, man. She's like, no way, man. Islam, yeah, I've never seen anyone suffer. Now watch this. When she makes the statement in Sahih Bukhari 5825, when she makes the statement, notice that she is surrounded by Christians, Jews, atheists, pagans, probably agnostics, different people from different cultures, because again, they lie to us about the, being such a trade route and so many people, yada, yada. She is surrounded by all these people, and yet she still steps forward saying, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. That to me is such a strong statement. It's such a home run that knocks Islam out the park, because it's clear that she has been exposed to people from Africa, Ethiopians, different colors of people. She's experienced all these people, even the slave woman, even the slaves. She's lived and been with them. She's owned them. And yet she's saying that these slaves are treated better than women in Islam. This is what Aisha is saying in this, when she says this. This is exactly what she is alluding to, because we need to understand the people she's talking about and the people she's talking to. If Islam was so great for these women, then why didn't she say, yes, I know maybe your husband just struck you. Maybe your husband left your skin greener than your clothes. Maybe that's the only reason. Maybe that's why. But Islam is not like that. Only this guy is like that. It was only made to appear that they are equal, Sir Gecko. That's right, man. It was only made to appear so. Only made to appear so. But notice again, Aisha doesn't isolate this incident and say that this particular incident is a one-off thing. She doesn't do that. She takes all of Islam, all the Muslims, all of these behaviors. Take care, bro. All of these behaviors, and she's like, hang on a second. Of all the people that I have seen, these people are treated the worst than anybody else. I mean, this woman was beaten. Her skin was greener than the color of her clothes. Muhammad didn't say, no, that's not true. Nobody said, no, that's not true. They just tried to point fingers and say, well, she did this, that, and the other. Doesn't take it away. So is that a reason to become a Muslim, knowing that the mother of all the Muslims, this child, bride that was raped by Muhammad, this child is wise enough and smart enough to call it out as to what she's experienced and seen? This statement is for any woman to ask the question, because it's not a Christian saying this. And this is why I love these videos and stuff and these hadiths. It's not the Christian saying it. This is why people are walking away from the hadiths, because they don't believe that the hadiths are doing justice to Islam. It's actually pushing people away from Islam, like marrying a child at 6. And Aisha called it. Of any woman, she said. That's Christians, Jews, atheists, you name it. Any woman, but those in Islam suffer the most. And this is what's sad about the whole thing, is that Muhammad and Muslims say that we should be fighting for the rights of women, and I agree. As a Christian, I believe that the head of the house is the man. And I believe that as a man, this is the reminder that we have about why it's so important to be a man and to behave like a man and to protect and to serve your family. I'm quoting the U.S. police system, but basically it's how to look after what you have as the head of the house. But the head of every man is Christ. Just like the woman has the head of her is the man himself has someone above him, which is Christ, and therefore we should behave accordingly. But these people don't get it. Now watch this video, because this is another video now that's going to break down a little bit more detail about women and the treatment of women according to, let's just learn together.
Muslim apologists sing the praises of Muhammad as if he's the OG feminist icon. They say that he broke all the rules to give women rights that they never had before. But hold on to your hijabs, folks. We're going to dive into some juicy details in this video and see if this claim is all that it's cracked up to be. So for starters, did you know that in the Quran, one man's testimony is worth two women's? Surah 2.
Sorry, if I'm going to just pause it every now and then. It's a 6-minute video, but I need you guys to we're going to focus on what the verses are as well. So 282 is the verse he's quoting. Now, notice again, the person speaking in this video is not quoting the Bible. He's not quoting what James said, what Rob Christian said, what Avery said, what Chris Claus said, what Giant DOC said. No, not David Wood, not Sam Shimon. Look where he's getting his information regarding the topic, right? This is coming again from their sources.
282 states that if two men aren't available, one man and two women should serve as witnesses, so one woman can remind the other if she makes a mistake. Muhammad.
Now, hang on. One woman can remind the second woman if she made a mistake, meaning that women are prone to making mistakes and forgetting. Man, I must be, my female genes in my body must be kicking in, because I forget a lot, because there's so much to remember. But now, and my wife, she needs less reminding. So, maybe it's just wrong in my family. But if a man is forgetful, what does that mean? Do you see how they're trying to comb all the women under one umbrella? They're trying their best to, but we're going to go on.
Explains why in Sahih al-Bukhari, saying, isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man? This is because of the deficiency of the woman's mind.
Deficiency of the woman's mind. If there's any woman listening in that is a Muslim, any Muslim woman listening in, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube, you are more than welcome to request, especially the Muslim woman, because these lives are for you Muslim women to make us understand why we're getting this wrong. So I'm just got 2 appeals I need to get rid of on TikTok. So why is it that we are misunderstanding? What are we misunderstanding? Do you agree or disagree? Do you think that you were created knowing less, remembering less, half of a man? Muhammad, man, he's got the answers, ladies and gents.
Not exactly feminist. He doubles down later in Sahih al-Bukhari, saying, oh, women, the majority of dwellers in hellfire were you women. You curse frequently and are ungrateful to your husbands. I have not seen anyone more deficient in intelligence and religion than you. Yay.
More, he's saying literally, basically, he's saying simply, you guys are dumb. He's just saying it, man. He's literally saying you guys are not the sharpest knives in the kitchen. Now imagine this is the entry. You go to you find a woman. You want to be like, how you doing? You want to get together with her. You want to be like, and she's like, oh, what did you like about me? What do you think about me? And he goes, well, you're not as half-brained as most of the others I've dated. I mean, you're like, you're half brain, but you're not like half brain. You more like just like half brain. I mean, you know what I mean, right? And she'll be like giggling. Oh, did you mean what you said? Did you really say that? Oh man, you compliment me, man. You love me. You love me. Imagine that. The pickup line. You're not as dumb as most, but I mean, you like, okay, man, you're not like half brain. You just like a half brain. That's what we are forced to believe, according to what we just saw.
So, according to Muhammad, women are intellectually and religiously deficient. And that ties nicely into Muhammad's take on women in the afterlife. As we just read in Sahih al-Bukhari, Muhammad says that most of hell's inhabitants are women because they're ungrateful to their husbands. And in Sahih Muslim, Muhammad is reported to have said, amongst the inmates of paradise, the women would form a minority. So, what about the few women who are good enough to make it into paradise? Even here, it's extremely troubling. According to Sahih al-Bukhari, women in paradise are described as standing in the corners of a pavilion, waiting for men to come and enjoy them. It reads,
I gotta stop there. I'm sorry I have to stop it, but you know, because you guys are like hanging on by the edge of your chairs now, trying to get. Whoa, hang on a second. Maybe now I should take my shahada. Maybe now I can take my shahada, because when I get up there, oh my lord, they're gonna be standing holding the pole. They're gonna be like, "Hey, Abdul, welcome to Islam. Come to me, Abdul. Come, Abdul. Today is your lucky day, Abdul." Oh, come on, TikTok. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm just fixing TikTok again, sending me even more stuff, but it's okay. Anyway, he's going to explain it now, but notice, on earth, the women are dum-da-dee-dum-dum. Dum-da-dum-da-dum-dum-dum. On earth, that's the woman. They slow, they make up the majority of hellfire, they ungrateful to their husbands, yada, yada, yada. But the lucky few that make it up into, no way, lost my life on TikTok. No way, man. Live is gone on TikTok. Banned on TikTok. TikTok is gone. Can't make this up. Man, you can't make this up. 2 accounts in 2 days. You cannot make this up. Do you guys see how TikTok is I'm a YouTube guy now. I'm on YouTube now. And I'll just use TikTok each time they allow me back in. But I'm not going to give up on TikTok, because there's a lot of people on TikTok where they can go back and watch this. This topic is evil and disgusting, and Muslims know it. The only way to stop it is to report it, because TikTok just stopped my second account, and all I've done was repeat what Muslims have said. All we're going to do is read, and by reading the filth of Islam, this is what they do to us. They stop it. They attack us. And I'm so glad now, if I didn't have YouTube, I'd be trying to make new accounts on TikTok. I can't stand TikTok. Can't stand it. I'll just go back in there, and like Chris Claw said, you know, he just uses it for every now and then when he's visiting other people's lives. But if this is what TikTok wants to do to me, bring it on, like Donkey Kong. Bring it on. I'm not scared of no TikTok. They can take my TikTok away. I'll just use my YouTube. I'll just use the YouTube, because these people are evil and disgusting, and they don't want the truth to come out. And this is why, unfortunately, I see why we need support, why we need people to support us on these apps and these lives to keep us, you know, going. Because again, a lot of the money that people give us on TikTok goes to pay all these things that we're using. And it's just unfortunate, because it's really unfortunate, because when you lose the account, you lose whatever they've had, all the gifts that you've been given. So all that goes, all the gifts that you got, gone with the account. Can't make this up, but it's okay. We're going to continue. Let's continue.
in paradise, there is a pavilion made of a single hollow pearl 60 miles wide. In each corner, there are wives who will not see those in the other corners, and the believers will visit and enjoy them. So the best outcome for women is being part of a celestial harem?
That's what the woman can look forward to when it comes to Islam. This is what the woman can look forward to. The few of them that are actually going to make it, this is what you're going to get. You're going to be one of these women standing on the street corners, hoping someone comes and picks you up. And then what are they going to use you for? You think you're going to go on a nice drive, watch the sunset? The only moon you're going to see is the guy's beak behind. That's it. That's all you're going to see.
exactly a win for women's rights. Now let's talk about Muhammad's troubling teachings on women and marriage. In Surah 434, it says, "Men are the caretakers of women. As for women of whom you fear rebellion, convince them, leave them apart in beds, and beat them lightly. Then, if they obey you, do not seek a way against them." This verse.
Okay, I just want to say this again. Muslims have been adding the word lightly, even though he's just, it's in brackets over there. The Muslims are adding the word lightly because they know that, again, this is disgusting, evil and sick. So what do? They try to bring you in again, saying, but no, it's just lightly. It's like you don't feel it. You don't feel it. It's like just a symbolic beating. I would like to symbolically beat Muhammad. Symbolically. You know, I try my best not to leave any marks or leave his skin greener than his clothes, but symbolically. Now watch this. The Muslim woman again in the Quran. Remember what the guy said earlier about the woman's rights and the woman this and the woman that. Did he mention any of this? No, because they know that if they mention any of this, it will cause people to say, hell no, ain't no way. Hang on, I got a guest. Didn't even see that. Ian, you there?
Good morning, Sir James. How are you?
I'm good, my man. How are you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm here and I'm fine. Thanking you. I'm just calling to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I'd want to read this verse of scripture for you. It is in the book of St. John. It's chapter 1 and verse 5. And it says here, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." So you, along with others, are shining the light of the truth upon the darkness of Islam. And just like roaches and all those creatures who love the darkness, when you turn the light, they go scampering all over the place. So they will not be the cheerleaders for the light. So you are there shining the light, and so they are fighting against you, but they will never be able to put you out. And another thing I'd want to say, if when you read from the books of Islam and you're being charged with hate speech, what does that say of the book that you're reading? You're reading from? Cause I mean, come on now. Cause from I've been listening to you, all I've heard you have been doing is to just read what is written, and you're being censored for hate speech. Wow. Anyway, continue doing what you're doing.
Let me say this. Thank you, my brother. I want to just say this. This proves that TikTok has better morals than Allah and Muhammad, because TikTok finds us offensive, evil, and disgusting. So TikTok is stopping me from spreading Islam because they can see that Islam goes against common sense and woman in the sense. So I hear what you say, man. And yes, thank you for the words of encouragement, because it does get annoying and frustrating. I watched God Logic last night, and he himself was on a live and he was getting restrictions just like I had first. And it's very frustrating, extremely frustrating.
Yes, Sir James. So you keep up the good work, sir. And I think that book, The Literature of Islam, should be in the same category as a book of a certain gentleman whose name we are not allowed to mention because it carries a certain connotation. But it goes back to the event ended 1945, and there's a
Mustache
book
Man.
Yes, sir, definitely. So
My fight.
these books are Yes, sir. These books are in the same category. So what does that tell you about what we're up against? Sir, continue doing what you're doing again, as I said, and enjoy the rest of your day. And to your listeners and those who will listen in the future, be blessed.
God bless you, my man. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Let's continue the video, guys. Let's continue the video. So according to this video, we've seen so far what the guy has presented. Again, he didn't say that he brought it up. He made it up. He's just repeating.
Verse permits men to beat their wives if they suspect disobedience, reducing women to property and endorsing violence. Even more unsettling is an incident involving Aisha, Muhammad's favorite wife. You guys probably know the story. She was married to Muhammad at 6 years old, and Muhammad consummated the marriage with her when she was only 9.
So hang on, again. Now notice the guy that spoke about how fantastic Islam is. Did anybody hear him mention any of the stuff? Did anyone hear him any of the stuff? Because again, Islam gave women rights. Islam came before when the UK and the British people and the people were wondering if women had brains. He's telling us, he's saying to us, this Islam came when we were still questioning whether women had a brain or not. That's when Islam came along. And now we can see the child bride. Why don't the Muslims say this? Oh, come to Islam. Not only do you get whatever you want, but you can marry children. Why didn't he start with that?
Observed, I have not seen any women suffering as much as the believing women. Later, she remarks about a friend saying, look, her skin is greener than her clothes. In this story about a woman who is severely bruised, Muhammad sided with the abusive husband, hardly defending women's rights. This next topic is not PG, but we need to tackle it head on.
So before we go there, this is why the picture that I had when Aisha said she has not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman, the amount of weight in that in that statement will destroy any Muslim claiming that women have rights and women are treated the best in the religion. This is why it's so important to equip ourselves with verses like this. So when a Muslim says to you, oh, the women in Islam are treated the best, well, let's quote what Aisha said. Let's see if it's true, just based on what Aisha said. Then they are forced to accept that, yes, someone was beaten, and yes, they were not chastised for it, and yes, Muhammad took the side of the guy that did this beating, and yes, Aisha herself, that's surrounded by many people from different places, made this statement. Now, this is again this is a big statement, but now we're going to get into a bit of a. I'm glad TikTok not around.
The Quran's stance on sexual relations with female captives. Surah 424 says, also prohibited are the women already bound in marriage, except the bondwomen you come to own. Surah 23, 1-6 echoes the same sentiment. Success is really attained by the believers who guard their private parts except from their wives or from those bondwomen who are owned by their hands, as they are not to be blamed.
So before we move on, remember, this is confirming that when you have a right hand possessed, you're allowed to have slaves. And as I said, in the Quran, Surah 424 teaches, 424, not only teaches, but allows adultery, fornication, slaves, and owning slaves. Now, you're allowed to own slaves, you're allowed to keep dingy slaves, you're allowed to have fornication with them and to have adultery with them. Who is the one that is allowing you all of these things? Who is it? Yes, that's Allah. Allah is the one that's allowing you all of these privileges. This isn't coming from Jesus or coming from the Pope or coming from a Christian. No, this is the God of Islam that's saying, hey, this is allowed. Go dingy woman that are married to somebody else, and you okay with it. It's good. It's fine. I'll give you a verse. Hang on a second, Mo. Let me bring another verse. Notice, as he says on the screen, it's halal. It's not like the mosque of Mecca, haram. It's halal.
7030 offers similar guidance. But what exactly does this mean in practice? The Hadith fills in all the gory details. In Sunan Abu Dawood, it's recorded, the Apostle of Allah sent a military expedition to Autaz during the Battle of Hunain. They met their enemy, fought, and took captives. Some companions of the Apostle were reluctant to have relations with the female captives in the presence of their husbands, who were unbelievers. So Allah, the Exalted, sent down the Quranic verse, and all married women are forbidden unto you, save those captives whom your right hands possess. That is to say, they are unlawful for them after they complete their waiting period. So this implies that the men could have sex with captive women, regardless of their marital status. So, yeah, the historical texts paint a pretty grim picture.
So remember yesterday I spoke on TikTok to the girls from Sweden, and now there were 4 of them, and I thought all 4 had left Islam about 6 months ago, but it seems 3 have, and only 1 is left. I think 2 or 3 were from Somalia, 1 was from Iran or Iraq, can't remember exactly. But and again, you saw that she was told, don't ask questions, just believe, don't ask questions. That's what they're told to do. Because if they ask questions like this regarding these topics, who in the world would want to walk into religion knowing that this is allowed? This is what they're forcing you to believe, right? So, and guys, I don't just sit on TikTok and YouTube. Because I give my information out on Insta, I am messaging people all so many times a day. I'm not gonna say all day, so many times a day, that I've now had to switch off my phone at 6 in the evening. I switch off my all my socials at 6 in the evening. Sometimes I'll put it on just to, sneak peek, because I need to have some kind of mental rest. I need to let my brain chill for a bit and not be so consumed by Islam, because this is an addiction. So we must be allowed to step away, walk away, and find the peace, because we do have families and we do have jobs and we do have children, and we need to function. But this is very consuming. So I need to turn it off, because when I look at my daughter and I think, if she found a dude that did any of this stuff to her, I'd be locked away. I'd be gone. You'd just read about me in the newspaper. That's how disgusting I find all of this. And we're allowing this into our societies. We're allowing this. But again, I'm so glad that all we can do is just put it on the screen for them to see it. They can't argue with it once it's on the screen, because it's coming from them.
Talk a little bit about temporary marriages, or nikah muta, which is basically short-term marriage contracts.
So I just want to say this for those that don't know: nikah isn't marriage. Nikah actually means the dingy, the intercourse. The man being penetrating the woman, that's the nikah. When they tell you, oh, you did the nikah, they try to make it sound as if you got married. No, it's the dingy. That's right, it's the intercourse. I forget that I'm not on TikTok now, so I can say what I want, I think. So it's the intercourse, literally intercourse. Nikah means intercourse. So when they say, oh, we did the nikah, it's like, that's right.
424 says, to those of them whose company you have enjoyed, give their dues as obligated. There is no sin on you in what you mutually agree upon after the initial agreement.
Now, mutta is literally prostitution. You're getting paid for the dingy. Zawaj, that's right, marriage. So the dingy, you're getting paid for it. That's mutta. Prostitution, allowed in Islam, Surah 424. Allowed in Islam. MashaAllah.
So this suggests that after enjoying a woman's company, you're supposed to give her payment. That sounds pretty transactional. Sahih Bukhari explains, we used to participate in the holy wars carried on by the Prophet, and we had no wives with us. So we said to the Prophet, shall we castrate ourselves?
I need to stop there. These guys are so weak. They got so little self-discipline, that they are willing to clip even more than the circumcised part of the willy winky. They're willing to castrate themselves because they got no one to dingy. How in the world can you, like, hey Mo, listen, man, it's been 2 weeks now. It's been 3 weeks now. It's been a month now. It's been 2 months now. I got my knife. Or should I just clip it? Should I just castrate myself because I don't have a woman to do dingy with? Zero self-control, just like Muhammad had zero self-control. Zero. Nothing. These guys, their little head is controlling the big head because they don't have they got zero self-control. Imagine if these guys are working on a ship. Now, back in the day, when you worked on a ship, you were gone for like 6 months, maybe even a year. And you'd pop onto land just to get, supplies, but not always you allowed onto land. There'd be a whole lot of people with no willy winkies. You never seen a fish out of water bouncing on the ground? The whole ship will be covered in penises flopping about like a fish out of water because these guys can't control themselves. It's like, oh, I tripped. What did you trip on? Bob the Builder, man. He clipped off his penis yesterday and he forgot to throw it overboard. And, come on, man. Come on, man. These people got zero self-control, like Allah, like Muhammad, like the Quran, like all the Sahaba. Why would anyone want to become a Muslim? How does, and look at the woman, right? These poor women.
But the Prophet forbade us to do so, and thenceforth he allowed us to marry women temporarily by giving her even a garment. So Muhammad allowed temporary marriage, even for something as minor as a piece of clothing. This practice looks a whole lot like prostitution under the guise of temporary marriage, not really feminism and equality at work here. Finally,
where are the women in 2026? Where are the women fighting for equal rights? And these feminists saying in the West, because in the West, they got big mouths in the West, where they want to put an end to this, that, and the other. This child, what's her name? I forget her name. This one that walks around on boats and pretend to get kidnapped by the Israelis. The stupid Swedish girl who honestly needs to check herself. That girl, why isn't she going to all these countries today and, stopping the woman getting beaten and this, that, and the other? Why? Why don't you ever find feminists putting themselves on a boat and going to these places to correct them? In fact, funny enough, I watched a video yesterday, the day before, about a woman that went to Gaza. And she went to tell she wasn't covered. Yeah, Thunberg, that's right. Greta, the regretta, that's right. So now the woman goes to Palestine or to Gaza and telling these people how she supports them, but she wasn't covered. So they smacked up. Let me read this. P.S. Taylor says, you really opened the eyes of those young women calling from Sweden, shedding light on the reality of Islam. Good job. God bless. Thank you so much, man. Amen. As I said, I've spoken to them for a while and then they disappeared off my Insta, but I'm glad they came back because it's showing once you come back, you're asking questions. When you ask questions, you already got one foot out of Islam. So that's brilliant, man. Thank you so much for that. Keep them in your prayer, guys. Keep them in your prayer. Notice that no Muslim woman has requested yet, and they very rarely do. Very rarely do Muslim women request up when it comes to these topics because if they go against the Quran, go against these topics, guess what? They're out of Islam. They're out of Islam. But let's keep watching. Please, guys, YouTube, I'm stuck with you now, or you stuck with me now, and I don't have TikTok, so we need to tap and share. So tappity tap. I don't know how I don't know. Just please tap and share.
There's this wild story about Muhammad's marriage to his adopted son's wife, Zainab. One day, Muhammad drops by his adopted son Zaid's place. Zaid's not around, but his wife, Zainab, is there. When she opens the door, Muhammad's like, praise be to the one who changes hearts and sights. There's this moment between them, and she picks up on Muhammad's whole vibe. Later, when Zaid returns, she spills the beans. Since Zaid was Muhammad's adopted son, this relationship was a total no-go according to Islamic law. Zainab started mistreating her husband, and whenever she did so, Zaid would go complain to Muhammad, who told him to just keep his wife to himself and fear Allah. Eventually,
notice that Muhammad apparently told him to keep his wife. Muhammad said, keep your wife, dude. She turned my heart now. She got me, she got me going now. Blood left my big head, but she got me going now.
The husband had enough and divorced Zainab. Muhammad then conveniently gets a revelation saying God wants him to marry Zainab. Surah 33, 37 through 38 spells it out, basically saying that God gave the green light for Muhammad to marry his adopted son's ex-wife, and oh yeah, he abolishes adoption in the process. It's like Muhammad's rewriting the rules to fit his desires.
I love that. Yeah, Allah wills my penis. Oh my goodness. You see where happiness comes from? How to make someone happy and give them happiness. Come on, man. Notice Allah could have said, adoption bad. Stop adoption, like he did with alcohol. He didn't get Muhammad drunk on alcohol first and then say, okay, this is to stop people from drinking alcohol. He didn't make Muhammad gorge on pig and then say, stay away from pork. But no, over here he gets Muhammad to go and penetrate his adopted son's wife, who is literally like his daughter. And then he says, yeah, that's because I want to abolish adoption. I'm going to abolish adoption, so I thought I'll let you just sleep with your adopted son's wife, and that will give us explain to the people as to why adoption is now abolished. So if you want to have penis.
Now, according to this eternal word, you can still care for an orphan, but that particular orphan can never call you mommy or daddy, all because Muhammad couldn't seem to help himself. Moses did allow divorce and even guidelines for marrying captive women. As Christians, we ought not skirt that. But Jesus did say that these were concessions due to hard hearts, not God's ideal. Jesus restored the original blueprint for marriage from Genesis, where one man and one woman become one flesh, a sacred bond for life. Under the new covenant, Jesus raised the standards, even going so far as condemning lust as adultery. Unlike Muhammad, Jesus also valued women, welcoming, healing, and forgiving them, and showing respect and compassion unmatched in his time.
Unmatched in his time. You mean Jesus that came before Muhammad gave more respect to women than Muhammad, who claimed to give women rights? That can't be true. Ain't no way that's true. Ain't no way that's true, because Islam says it's not true. Therefore, it's definitely not true. Definitely not true. Any Muslim wants to join, any Muslim wants to make it make sense, please request. Let me just double check. It's still there. The agents, 007 StreamYard, you more than welcome to request. More than welcome, man. Any Muslim. Notice that the Muslims themselves, when you talk to them about these verses, when you point out these verses, tell you, oh, it was different back then. Oh, it was different back then. Things were different because, yeah, man. I don't know, man. If there's any Muslim that wants to join in, you're more than welcome to join. All we're trying to do today is understand the rights about women in Islam. And so far, it doesn't look as if it doesn't look as if there's many people that believe and the next video I'm going to play, and I'm going to unfortunately have it's in Arabic, so good luck to those that understand Arabic, but I'm going to read as we go. And again, this is Islam in the later years now at our time, and we're going to see how this child is treated in Islam. And I'm going to read as we go so that you guys can see it. So let me remove this comment. Thank you so much, P.S. Taylor. So let's just write. He tore off my clothes. I didn't want him to touch me. He tied me up and did what he wanted. And he took the red mark of virginity from a 12-year-old child, and he celebrated it with his family. Now the question would be, who did this? Who is the one that did this?
سنة واحتفلوا بعلامة.
وأنا عم أبكي جوا.
I was
بده وحدة
crying on the
تحترم أهلها،
inside. He
تحترم مرت
wanted
أخوها،
someone to
تحترم
obey him,
إذا
his
فتحت
family, and his
مرتين بده
sister-in-law.
يضربها.
And if she opens her mouth a word, he beats her up. This is a 12-year-old child bride. So she's talking about her husband, a 12-year-old. Now remember that we're not 1400 years ago. We're not 2000 years ago. We're not 500 years ago. We're talking in recent years while all of us that's listening to this live was living. Right? Now, again, this I think, if I'm not mistaken, but the guy on this show does many interviews with children like this, and the craziness, man. Imagine sitting there with these children looking you dead in the eye, explaining how these husbands and what their husbands did.
وكل ما بطلب غرض منه أشياء بيقول لي روح على أبوكي.
Whenever he asks me for
كل ما
things, he
بقول له بدي
beats me.
شيء أو شيئين بتحجج علي يجي يضربني بيقول لي روح على أبوكي.
شو صار يطلب منك بعدين يعني تاني؟
He asks, and what else did he ask from you on the second and third day? So she's just explaining that she has to literally do everything. And I'm going to show you guys another video where even if you're on your camel and the man calls you, you best get off your camel and sleep with him. How is this empowering the woman? Look at this child and tell me she's empowered and looking forward to the next 40 years with her husband.
يوم ثالث يوم زواج طفل صغيرة عمرها 13 سنة أي مهام منزلية كان مطلوب منها وشو كان مطلوب منها تحديدا؟
مثل أي وحدة تشتغل بالبيت. لكن
So she's just asking what is she supposed to do. And I'm reading this for those if the writing is too small on YouTube. He says, just like any female who works at home to sweep, cook and everything.
طبخ كل شيء بالبيت.
ولما تغلطي
بيبهدلني وبصير بيحكي علي وهيك.
And he said, and when you make a mistake, so she answers, he humiliates me. He goes to complain to my family. This sure does sound like empowering a person, making them feel good. This is supposed to be your wife, even though she's 12. Treat her as your wife, like you love her. But he's looking at her as a slave because in Islam, you are owning the person that you marry.
وأنت وبيروح عند أهلي بيقوم الشكوى بنتك هيك وبنتك هيك.
والبابا شو كان يقول لك لما كان يقول
What does
لك؟
your father
كده
do?
عم تضغطوا علي.
Look what the answer is. He says, what does your father do? He asks him to take it easy on me, then I go back to him. Now, again, if this was my daughter, God forbid, and any man struck my daughter at 12 years old. Now, I know I'm just being a Muslim right now, forgive me, and I'm allowing my 12-year-old, forgive me, to be forced into the satanic cult and this guy beats her. Do you think I'm going to send my daughter back to him? Or do you think there's going to be someone to be sent back to?
أو شيء وبعدين نرجع البيت عادي. ويقول لي هالشيء ما عاد تسوينه وما عاد يتكرر.
Then he warns me to never repeat it again. So it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's now her fault. This child at 12 years old, who is a child bride, is saying that I mustn't repeat it. I need to be better. I need to do good. He's not going to change himself. I have to be better.
كيف كانت عندك مرت عمي؟
جابتني خدامة هيك عندها بس.
How does your mother-in-law treat you? She brought me just as a servant to her. Remember what I said earlier? They are brought in as property, controlled. How is this empowering this young girl at 12 years old, married to this filthy, disgusting, evil man? Married to him, she's a child. She literally started bleeding yesterday. I'm taking this as the average age-ish. And here's this guy beating her and his mother controlling her. Now, remember that this behavior is learned from someone. So this mother is learning it from her mother, is learning from their mother, because they found out that this must be right. They found out it must be true, it must be right. But here we go.
مع الوقت بقي هيدا الوحش بالنسبة إليك؟
And then he says, after time passed, did he still treat you brutally? She says yes.
بلا.
وكل مرة كان ياخذ اللي بده إياه بالقوة؟
بلا.
And he says every time he took what he wanted, dingy, sex by force, he said yes. What is it to take a sex from a person by force? It's rape. He's literally asking, And every time he grapes, I'm going to use grape. I'm going to stick to that. Every time he grapes you by force, and she goes, yeah. She's a child. She's 12 years old. This religion that's supposed to be empowering these people, look at what it's causing. It's causing the man to believe it's okay to grape his child bride, because Muhammad did that to little girl Aisha.
صار في حمل أو ما صار في حمل؟
Did you get pregnant? Now we're getting interesting now. Did you get pregnant? She said, I got pregnant before and now I'm pregnant again. She's 12. 12. She's pregnant again. She was pregnant before, meaning before she was 12, the girl got pregnant. Meaning that before she was 12, she was already doing the dingy dingy. And if she was pregnant before 12, it means that 11, 10, we don't know. We don't know. But she's pregnant again.
صار قبل هالمرة في حمل وهلا أنا حامل صار حمل مرتين.
I got pregnant twice. And he said, oh, a 12-year-old child and 2 times pregnant. Forgive me if you guys can't see, if me reading it is a problem, because not everyone can see the writing. So I just hope it's okay that I'm reading it. Because this is again a Muslim talking to a Muslim, asking the question. And she said, oh, I was pregnant twice as a 12-year-old.
طفلة عمرها 12 سنة حامل مرتين كأنك حامل. طفلة عمرها
He said, how did you know you were pregnant? I started to throw up and get sick and such.
12 سنة كيف تعرف حالها أنها حامل؟
صرت استفرغ وامرض وهيك شغلة وأمه بتعرف هيك شغلات يعني.
And his mother was experienced with that. She told him to get a pregnancy test.
حامل وولدان وهيك قالت له جيب لها تحليل.
أول تحليل طلع حامل ولدتي؟
لا.
Now watch this. Did the first test was positive? She said yes. Did you give birth? No. No. What did he say? Oh, okay. I can increase it, and then I can just leave it. Let me just let me see if I can do that over here. Where's the Okay, so
روحتي؟
إيه.
عرفتي ليش
sorry, I just want to see what it looks like on the YouTube, so you guys can see that on the YouTube. So one more time, should I read it, or are you guys okay to read it yourselves? Because I'm also thinking in the future, if people are watching this, are they able to read it? Because sometimes if you're watching on your phone, you don't actually see what the writing says. So I'll ask one more time, I don't want to, stop it. And if you guys think that it's wrong or it's silly. Okay, let's read it. Okay, let's read. Continuing. So he said, did you know, and why not? She said, the doctor said she was still too young. So she couldn't have the baby. She didn't have the child.
أول تحليل طلع.
Right, let's see.
حامل ولدتي؟
لا.
روحتي؟
إيه.
عرفتي ليش؟
The doctor said she was still too young. Now, again, this goes back to the point. The entire point of this story is that this 12-year-old, pregnant twice before she's 12 or by 12, couldn't give birth, or because she said that there was a child born. No, the doctor said she was still too young.
روحتي؟
طبيب قال بعدني صغيرة.
وليش أصر العريس على الحمل؟
Why did the husband insist on getting you pregnant again if the first time the doctor warned you from being pregnant at a young age? The guy's asking is such an important question. If the doctor is saying you are too young to be pregnant and to give birth, why would your husband now want you to get pregnant again? He's assuming that the girl has an option or a choice in whether she wants to use prevention or not.
المرة الثانية إذا أول مرة الأطباء حذروكي من الحمل بعمر صغير.
يحب يعمل معي علاقة كل يوم.
لما
he sleeps with me every day. And when he knew the second time that you were pregnant, did he change his
ثاني مرة إنك
behavior?
حامل غير تصرفاته معك؟
لا.
صار حنون أكثر، عتلان هم
Did he get
الولد؟
kind to you
لا.
concerning the
خبر
child?
حملك؟
No.
لما عرف إني حامل رجعني على بيت أهلي.
لما رجعك عن بيت أهلك أنت ارتحتي إنك رجعتي عن بيت أهلك؟
ارتحت.
He says when you were relieved that because she was sent back to her family, and she says, yes, she was relieved to be back to her family. Notice again the sickness of this cult. This child, abused by her parents, by sending her to this man, gets abused by the man as a child. And then she gets sent back to her parents when she's relieved, but she's knowing that she's going to be forced back. Now, UV said she's holding a doll. I also think I saw her holding a doll. I also see that. But let's continue, because again, all we have to do is to understand why. Why? So Winter J3M said, hi guys, the topic of the live stream has attracted me. I'm glad it wasn't Muhammad that attracted you. But let's continue. So now we've got a 12-year-old, pregnant twice, and abused by her parents, abused by her mother-in-law, abused by her husband. And this is Islam, all in the name of Islam.
بس ليش بده يردك عن بيت أهلك وأنت حامل وأنت زوجته وأنتم منتظرين مولود؟
عشان بيجيبوا لي أدوية. بيقول لي أبوك
He said, why did he send you back to your
وأنت
parents?
حامل وأنت زوجته وأنتم منتظرين مولود.
عشان بيجيبوا
I just saw her touching a doll. See that? Did you guys see the doll?
وأنتم منتظرين مولود.
عشان بيجيبوا لي أدوية.
See the doll? She's holding a doll like Aisha was. She's holding a doll. She's 12-year-old holding the doll. Remember Aisha, the one that Muhammad raped, the child bride of Islam, was playing with dolls? She's holding this doll. You hit the nail on the head, Scrunchy. Emotional support. She's holding this doll. She's married to a guy, pregnant twice, beaten by him, used as a slave in the home by her husband and her mother-in-law, shipped off by her own parents in the name of Allah, the God of Islam. We're talking about empowering women in Islam. How is this empowering when you know for a fact that you've just taken the joy out of this child? You've taken the light, you've sucked out the life, like who? The Dementors in Harry Potter, that suck the life out of them, take out all the joy, the happiness. Evil, sick, disgusting. And guess what? It's happening today. And all you Muppets that are thinking that these people, you can live with them and life will be fine. Oh, don't close the borders, allow them in. This is what you're dragging in. This type of culture, this type of understanding, this type of belief system. This is what you are dragging into your countries. The sick, satanic, evil stuff.
بيقول لي أبوك مجبور بيكي.
لما رحت عن بيك شو قال لك؟
When you went to your father, what did he tell you? Notice, and this guy, I love him for his questions. When you went to your father, what did your father, tell you? She says, he told me to be patient. The father of this abused girl, this girl that's been absolutely tortured, tormented, destroyed from inside and out. She's destroyed. What did your father tell you? He said, be patient.
ليه تطولي بالك؟
أنت مبسوطة رجعتي عن بيك؟
Are you pleased you're at your father's, or would you rather go back to your husband's? It's like, from the frying pan into the pot. This is Islam, ladies and gentlemen. For those that are not following, it's the Agents 007, the Agents 007 on YouTube. For those that just found me by a random search or just walking by, we do this to bring awareness that Islam is 100% satanic and evil. It does not and cannot come from a good God, from a loving God, from a forgiving, merciful God. Just because someone says they're merciful and forgiving doesn't mean that they actually are. This evil act of a child, pregnant twice before she's 12 years old, beaten by her husband, used by us as a slave, is saying that she was already impregnated. And look at her face. Does she look empowered? Does she look like she's going to continue in the fight for Islam, or does she look like she just wants to end it all?
او بدك ترجع على المنزل الزوجي؟
ما بدي أرجع.
شو بدك لكن؟
I don't want to
الطلاق.
go back to him.
بدك
I
الطلاق.
want to be divorced. I want to be divorced. That's what she's saying.
ليش خايفين من الطلاق؟ مين عم يغصبك على الزواج؟
Why are you afraid to be divorced? Are you forced to stay married? These are questions I would have asked. So I'm so glad he's asking these questions, focusing on the girl and not the husband. In fact, this guy even interviews husbands while the little child bride is next to him. While the child bride is next to him.
البابا لما بتقولي طلاق شو بيقول لك؟
البنت بترجع على بيت جوزها.
وانت شو بدك؟
طلاق.
بنت عمرها 12 سنة.
He said 12-year-old girl, 2 times pregnant and wants to be divorced. 12-year-old. Now remember, 65:4, Surah 65:4 talks about marrying and divorcing girls before they reach their first menstruation. So in Islam, you can marry them, sleep with them, divorce them, and all they have to do is just wait 3 months. Just 3 months before they can remarry to make sure they're not pregnant. These little girls in Islam, tortured and abused because of Allah and Muhammad.
حامل مرتين وبدها تطلق. قلت له للبابا بدك تطلقي؟
لا ما قلت له بعد.
She said, did you tell your father you want to be divorced? She said, not yes. He said, why not? Because I'm afraid to tell him. Because again, remember that these people are taught that it's a bad thing to get divorced. You're bringing shame on the family. You're letting the family down. You know, I got paid $2,000. I'm giving an example for you. So now if you come back to me, he'll want his money back. And, you know, I don't have the money because I spent it on chat, and I spent it on the booze and the alcohol and the mutta, and I spent it on, my sex slaves. And so what comes first is the money.
ليش؟
لأني بخاف أقول له.
إذا قلت له شو معقول يعمل؟
If you tell him, what will he do about it? Talking about her dad, he'll beat me up. You go to the husband, he beats you. Go to the father, he beats you. This is how they empower women in Islam. What did the guy say? Oh, you need to love the woman, and you need to, the woman is like, the mother is like, you must put yourself below her feet. But this is what the mother went through before she became a mother. This is what the woman had to endure before she became the mother. The same mother that you putting yourself under her feet. This is what the woman has gone through. This is what the woman has gone through before she became a mother. And now Allah is saying to you, but you need to love your mother. Why? Because she was cursed by becoming a Muslim and going through all of this rubbish that Allah allowed to happen to her. Now remember, the Quran also teaches that nothing happens without the permission of Allah. So all this was by the permission of Allah. This is by the permission of the God of Islam that allows this to happen, because He decided this must be the right way to go.
بيضربني.
وجوزك بده يطلقك؟
ما بعرف.
بابا وين؟ جمعة أنت قل لي كيف وضع الأمل اليوم؟
So now he called this guy called Juma. I think maybe this is either the husband or the father. He says, tell me, what's the situation of Amal today? What did he say? She's not well. Man, she ain't well, man. Man, this girl, man, I don't know, man. She ain't well. She not well, man. Why isn't she well? Well, she's expecting to be loved. She's expecting to be treated kindly. She's expecting to be treated as a wife. I mean, is she stupid or what? Let's see what he says.
ليش تعبان؟
He says, right? Why? So he says she's not well. Why? He says from the things that are happening to her. So this must be the father.
شو اللي عم يصير معها يعني؟ شو عم بيصير؟ كل ما بتمرض
He says, what happens to her? She says, every time she gets sick, they fight with her and sends her to me. Every time she gets sick. What's making her sick? Is it COVID, the pandemic? Is it influenza? Is it chlamydia? Is it, what is it?
بيعملوا لك خناقه ويبعتوها لعندي بيت حماها.
كل ما بتمرض بعتوا لك.
He says, every time she gets sick, they send her to you. He says, yes. The first time she got pregnant for 3 months. So, again, remember in the Quran, it says that when a woman is pregnant, she's carrying a burden. She's carrying a burden. Surah 65:4 talks about the woman that is pregnant is carrying a burden. So, because it's a burden, she, let's keep going, man.
أول مرة حملت على 3 شهور. الجنين نموه شهر صار دصة.
She had to have a miscarriage, so they sent her to me to treat her. The husband, the mother-in-law, the child has a miscarriage. Remember what the doctor said? The doctor said she was too young to be pregnant. The doctor said she's too young to be pregnant and she has a miscarriage. Baby numero uno. Baby number 1. She has a miscarriage. They send her to the father and he says, well, she came to me because, I had to look after her because she's my child. I paid for you. They paid me for her. But I'll take her back because she had a miscarriage.
قاموا بعتوها لعندي حتى سقطت وعالجتها وعلى 24 اجوا واخذوها بجاهد زلم ونسوان وكذا.
After I treated her, he came back with his family and took her back.
وبعتناها معهم. هسه حملت بالشهر الثاني.
She got pregnant again during her 2nd or 3rd month. So she literally just had a miscarriage, goes back to him, falls pregnant again 2 to 3 months later. Because she needed medication, they fought with her. Whose fault is it? But no, this child at 12 years old is being punished in Islam, this religion that is empowering these people, giving them the power, the woman, the power. The power, people, to these children.
أو الثالث مشان دواء وما دواء قاموا عملوا لها مشكلة واتصلوا فيني أنا كنت ببعلبك راح عمها جابها وإجا.
هي غرض بردوها وبحطوها
What did he say? What did he say? Is she like an object to keep taking and sending her away? I dig this dude. I dig him. Is she an object to keep sending her back and forth? The husband married her. Why is he sending her back and forth, back and forth? Evil, sick, disgusting. For any Muslim that's listening in, watching, can you request up and tell me whether you agree to this, disagree to this? Show me evidence that what these people are doing is bad. That's what God wanted for her. What does the father say? That's what God wanted for her. Imagine that. The God, who's the God? Sorry, who's your God, my man? Who's your God? That's right, it's Allah. Now the host again says, what did God want for her?
نعم هاي كتبة من رب العالمين.
أي كتبة من رب
That's
العالمين.
what God wanted. What did God fate?
شو كتبة من رب العالمين بيجيبوها برد.
He said, what fate has to do with them taking her, sending her away? What's going
بياخدوها
on?
بردوها.
لا هلا
شو عم بصير؟ أنت بيا لأمل، أنت على أي أساس تقبل ترجع؟
He says, you're Amal's father. How come you approve of letting them take her
عم
back
بيت زوجها إذا كل مرة بردوا لك إياها.
every time they send her back
شو
like
بعمل يعني
that?
طلقها؟
He says, what am I supposed to do? Get her divorced? The guy says, why not? And again, I apologize for reading over you guys, but some people might watch this video later, the recording later, and not see it. But crazy, right? This is what God fated for her. This is what it was in God's plans, Allah's plans. In Allah's plans. He says she's still very young to be called divorced. So the father again is more concerned that she is going to bring shame to the family by saying she's divorced. So he said, so what is the matter if they call her divorced?
شو بيقولوا إذا قالوا عنها مطلقة؟
بعد ولد مطلقة مش ضابط.
بس بعد
Says
ولد.
she's still too young to be divorced. Then he says, but it's okay to be too young and get married? Is that okay with you? My goodness, man. This is a boom shakalaka. Check this out. She's too young to get divorced. The host said, but it's okay to be too young to get married. Give this guy an Oscar. Give this guy whatever prize you can give the host for asking that question. She's too young to be divorced, but she's not too young to get married. I'll say it again. She's too young to get divorced, but she's not too young to get married. Even the host has to be against this sickness, this disgusting, evil Islam that is allowing these children to be penetrated, married, divorced. He's asking such important questions. Again, we're talking about how does Islam empower the woman? Does this girl at 12 years old look like she's empowered? Or does she look distraught, destroyed, torn apart, humiliated, sad? Does she look like there's any happiness in her? Where's the light in her eyes as a 12-year-old? She's hanging on to a little Barbie doll, trying to hold on to the little bit of life as a child that she has. This is the evil of Islam that they don't tell you. Remember the video we watched? He said, oh, come to Islam where the woman is treated like this and the woman is given the rights and the woman is by the feet and the mother and the... None of this came out. That's because they lie to every single person that wants to come into this religion. They lie to them to keep them in the religion. They lie to them to bring them to accept Allah. And then when they've accepted it, it's too late, because this is how they're going to treat you. You come to the West, you go live in Sweden. You're Somali, you come to Sweden, you accept all of Sweden, you turn 18, whatever. Your father ships you to Somalia. I'm using Somalia as an example. And you are going to Somalia. They pretend you're going on holiday. You get there and you've got a husband waiting for you. You got a man waiting for you because your father sold you. Not only that, you go down at a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old and you think you're going on holiday. No, that's when they clip and snip you down there. That's what they do, but they don't lead with that. You never see a Muslim say, come to Islam where you can get FGM. We'll clip you down there so you don't enjoy the dingy. Come to Islam where we'll force you to get married as a child. This is not the Islam that they're talking about. So there's two faces to Islam. This is why it's called taqiyya. You lie to people to bring them into this religion. You lie to keep them in the religion. So he's asking, she's too young to get divorced. Why isn't she too young to get married?
جوز ضابطه بس لا افهم بعد
هاي الجيزه للنصيب يعني
بس ليش
But that's her destiny. Surah 54:49 in the Quran, Allah created everything with predestiny. Everything is predestined. The Quran confirms that everything was written down for you and there's nothing that you can do or say because Allah made it that way. That was a rhyme. That's it. That's what Islam has just taught us now. If it's destiny and it's sorted out for you, and then this man says, but why did you marry her off at 12 years old?
واستعمر 12 سنه
منها الظروف
اي ظروف اللي عايشين يعني بتشيل عنك مسؤوليه بتشيل
And again, notice he's blaming circumstances. So get rid of her responsibility. That's it, Amal. Go to your husband.
يلا يا امل روحي عن بيت زوجك.
الانسان ما بيكره اولاده حتى
بس اللي بس شو يعني شو الظروف
And then he asked again another important question is what kind of circumstances made you marry her off? Now remember guys, no, I'm not on TikTok. It's both my accounts are gone. I've got my trolling account on TikTok and I have the one that I'm playing now on YouTube. And yeah, I've got two trolling, but I can't give those away. So yeah, they banned. I think one is permanently gone. One of them, I think I need to. I didn't appeal just yet. I'll do it later. But they're gone. One of them is, and the other one comes back either tomorrow or the day after. But we're good. But anyway, right? According to this, we can see now that these people are blaming circumstances for what Allah has made lawful. I've got a guest. It's called Immigrant. Immigrant, how are you, sir?
Hello, my brother. How are you?
I'm very well. Are you a Muslim, sir?
No, sir, not. But I'm a foreigner in UK, my brother.
Say again, brother. What you say?
I'm not a Muslim, but I'm a foreigner in the UK, my brother.
Okay. So
I
you're
don't
not
like.
a Muslim.
No, brother.
Okay. So you're a foreigner. Where are you from? Can I ask?
I'm from somewhere in Asia, my brother.
Okay.
I just
So
don't like. Do you see lots of racism in the UK?
do I see racism in the UK?
Yes, brother.
Yeah, man. I see it all the time.
It's a disgrace, isn't it? In my opinion, it's not right.
Yeah. Why don't these people like white people?
No, I mean against us foreigners.
Just kidding, man. Thanks for coming, bro. If you don't like the country, go back to where you came from. If you don't feel like they're treating you nicely, it's because maybe you're doing something wrong. Because I've lived there for many years, man, and I didn't experience whatever you telling me you're going to experience. That's another load of nonsense. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying, come on, man. If you're not happy, go back to where you came from. Doesn't matter where you come from. Don't go to a new country and then complain about the country you went to. Then go back to where you came from, man. No one will go to a country, for example, if they hate snow and ice cold weather, they're not going to go live in Alaska or Siberia. They'll stay away from it. If you don't like the heat, you're not going to go to the Sahara. You're going to stay away from it. You don't like the country because it's racist, then go back. Find another country. Come on, man. Come on, man. Anyway, let's continue. Let's find out what circumstances made him sell off his daughter.
بنتك اتجوزها شو يعني؟
ظروف الواحد بيفزع على بناته واجى نصيب.
One gets scared for his girls when her destiny comes, when asked around about him. So now he's saying that he's trying to fix this girl's destiny. So he's playing God by fixing her destiny.
انت برايك 12 سنه كنت كامله
Your
تتزوج؟
opinion, a 12-year-old, she's ready? He says, look what he did. He looked at his daughter to check if
كامله
she's ready.
تتزوج؟
He says, yes, she's ready. Look at her. So he's looking at this child sitting next to him, his daughter, and he's saying, yes, she's ready to be penetrated. His own daughter, he turns to look at her and says, yes, look at her. She's ready. Now remember, she's already married, pregnant twice, meaning that she was already ready before him turning to look at her now, showing that he himself has no problem with a child being penetrated. That means he probably married a child as well, and his mother was probably exposed to that as well, and his father was exposed to that, and yada yada, back all the way to Aisha. All the way back to Aisha, we can see that this is now common. He says, look at her. If any of us looked at her, we see her holding a doll, a child. I would see a child. If we had a dinner with a child's table and an adult's table, this child would not be sitting at an adult table, even if her husband was there. Evil, sick, disgusting. This is his daughter.
كامله برايك طفله كامله عمرها 12
He says, so a 12-year-old, in your opinion, is ready for marriage?
سنه
ست بيت وخالصه.
شو يعني ست بيت؟
He says she's a perfect housewife. My word, imagine you saying that to your children in 2026, looking at your 12-year-old sitting there that hasn't even gotten rid of all her milk teeth, I'm sure, or doesn't even know how to stop leaving skid marks in her drawers. You're looking at this going, oh man, she's going to be, she's perfect. Look at her. She's good to go.
يعني من كل شيء امور بيت خالص.
يعني خبرتك كيف كانت ليله الدخله تبعيتها؟
لا.
Now he asking another important question. He says, did she tell you how her wedding night was? He says, no. The father says no. And he says, would you like to know? The father says no. Why? Because look at his face. Look at his face. The father knows that she wasn't seduced and, groomed and made nice. No. The man probably just jumped her.
معك كيف كانت؟
لا.
ليش؟
يعني اكيد صعب عليه.
تعرف انه
What did he say? Did you know that he tied her up and raped her? He says no. She said that she was tied up and raped by her husband, the father of this little girl. The father of this little girl sitting there, no emotion, says no.
بنتك ربطوها؟ تعرف إنه بنتك
Did you know that he tied up and raped her? That
خطبوها؟
question, man.
لا أنا أعمل لك
ما قالوا لي لا ولا هي قالت.
أنا أعمل لك ربطها
They didn't tell me, neither did she. I'm telling you, he tied her up and raped her.
واغتصبها.
ما الحكي كله يعني ما حكت لي اياه، هي حكيت لي هيك حكي؟ لا
أنا أعمل لك إياه.
الو
ألو مرحبا.
اهلين.
So I'm not sure who Ali is, but we're learning, watching this together. I'm sure you're getting angry, Bill. But again, remember that, and I'll say this again, the reason that we're having these topics and these lives, I pray that some, at least one Muslim sitting at home finds this feed, watches it, and then asks questions. If there's any Muslim that's passing by, I know there's Muslims in this live right now, sitting there quietly, observing. Some are leaving because they also find it disgusting and evil. Some are thinking this guy's a liar, it can't be true. But those that are going to check it, to see if it's true, these people will leave Islam. They will run from it because, again, if it's true, how in the world can you continue being a Muslim? If it's true, how in the world can you look at your daughter, 12-year-old daughter, 10-year-old, 9-year-old? In fact, how do you look at your 6-year-old daughter and think to yourself, at your age, Muhammad already married you? And then look at your 9-year-old and think to yourself, wow, if you lived with Muhammad, he would have slept with you. Let's see who Ali is.
علي؟ إيه مرحبا علي كيفك؟
الحمد لله.
معك مالك مكتبي.
نعم.
علي زوجتك أمل وين؟
Oh, this is the husband. Now this is the husband. He says, where's your wife Amal? This is Ali, the hubby, the man that raped his 12-year-old daughter, wife.
بالبيت أنا بالشغل.
أي بيت؟
So he doesn't know that she's at the show. He says, where is she? He says, at my home.
بالبيت عنا.
بالبيت عندكم. إلى قديش عندكم بالبيت؟
ليش شو في؟
إلى قديش عندكم بالبيت؟
ليش شو بدك من الموضوع يعني؟
بس إلى قديش عندكم بالبيت؟
هي عند أهلها هي هلا.
He's just asking, where's your your wife? And he said first at my home, and now he's asking.
هي عند أهلها. ليش عند أهلها؟ ليش عند أهلها؟
He said they had a fight.
تيتنا أنا وياها وراحنا عند أهلها. خير بس ما في شيء.
هل هي طلقتها يعني؟
لا ما طلقتها.
ليش ما طلقتها؟
She's asking, why are you fighting? Did you divorce her? He said, no. He says, why don't you divorce her? He says, why would I? It's just a misunderstanding.
ليش شو بدي أطلق؟ ما فهم.
نعم.
صار في سوء تفاهم وراحت وشوفي ليش.
أمل بدها تطلق.
He says, Amal wants to get divorced now. And the husband's like, so?
هلا.
إيه.
طلقها.
ليش تطلقها؟
ما بدها تبقى.
She no longer wishes to be a wife.
من يعني أنت هلا محامي يعني أنت عم تحكي معي ولا؟
إيه هي ما بدها.
ما بدها معناتها خلاص بنحكي مع.
So he said to her, she doesn't want to remain married to you. The husband says, in that case, we will talk to her father and figure this out.
بيا موجود معي هلا على الهوا.
خلينا نحكي معه بس.
So, and again, sorry I'm reading, but I'm just showing you guys. His father is here with me live. Let me talk to him, says Ali. Go ahead.
تفضل احكي معه. احكي معه.
ايه يا علي.
ايه.
بدك تطلق مرتك انت يا علي؟
انا لا ما اطلقها.
Husband said, father said, do you want to divorce her, your wife? Ali said, no.
تقدر تفتح لها بيت شرعي بعيد عنها لك يا علي؟
ايه انا اذا تفتح بيت شرعي ما عندي مشكله، بس هلا ما عندي استطاعه حتى افتح لها بيت.
ايه متى يصير عندك استطاعه يا علي؟
هلا عم اشتغل الحمد لله بس صرت عندي بيت وهيك.
So the father's basically saying you need to get away from your family, get yourself an apartment, and he says, I can't do it just yet. He says, I'll call you and tell you to give her back to me. He says, I'm at work now, but I'll call you to get her back to me. Can you imagine this little girl being sent back to this abusive rapist?
هذا بقول لك صار عندي بيت رجع لي اياه.
ما عندك مشكله. ايش قد انطيك مهله؟
ايش قاعد تجوز سنه سنتين 3 سنين الله اعلم.
He says, I'll get back to you. He says, how long do you need? A year, 2, 3, God knows. Oh my God. That means divorce her and be done with it. So you see that this man is just trying to hold on to this child. Look at the eyes of this child that is supposed to be empowered by Islam at 12 years old. Look at the child's eyes that's supposed to be empowered by Islam, given the rights.
معناته ارمي عليها اليمين وريح حالك وريحها.
ليش؟
هي
وبعدين شلون بدي ارمي عليها اليمين وهي حامل؟
بس هي
He says, how do I divorce her while she's still pregnant? See, he's now concerned about the pregnancy. He kicks her out because she's pregnant, sends her to her parents. But hang on, man.
ما بدها بقى ترجع الى المنزل الزوجي.
ايه
بس هي عم بتقول هي تعرضت للعنف والاغتصاب.
He said to her, she doesn't want to come back to you. He says she's saying that she was abused and raped. She doesn't want to go back to your place. So the host is calling this guy Ali, the husband, out. He's saying, dude, you raping her. She doesn't want to come back to you.
هي ما بدها ترجع الى المنزل الزوجي.
لا 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 هذا شيء
He
كذب.
says, that's lies.
كذب كله كذب هذا. ليش ألف وقصص وهيك؟
I wish the play, that triangle wasn't on her face, but look at how sad she looks.
وهريات وكذا وهالشيء شيء كذب. شو عنف وما عنف واغتصاب؟
طيب هي الطفله ما بدها ترجع عن بيت زوجها.
نحن هلا ليش
The host keeps saying the child doesn't want to go back to you. The child, the child, the child, the child, not your wife, not the woman, the child. Notice that even the host sees a 12-year-old as a child, but Allah, Muhammad, look at these 9-year-olds as grown-ass women that you can penetrate even without her consent. That's what they explain in Islam. They say that you're allowed to penetrate these girls once they reach the year 9 without her consent. She doesn't want to go back to you, dude.
بس هي ما بدها ترجع.
هي ما بدها ترجع حاشي اخر هي بدها تعيش خلص.
ما بدها هي ما بدها طلقها حررها طلقها.
ما بطلق انا هيك ما بطلق.
He's saying divorce her. He says I won't divorce her. He wants to keep his child bride because it's easy to control children.
ليش بدي اطلقها انا؟
ما بدها. انت اليوم يا علي رجل، اذا المراه بتقول لك انا ما بدي اياك، انت بدك تبقى معها.
بعرف اذا هي ما بدها يعني معناتها
انت كرجل امراه عم بتقول لك انا ما بدي اياك.
نعم يا استاذ.
بس قل لي اذا مراه عم بتقول لك انا ما بدي اياك، بس جاوبني على سؤالي. اليوم انت رجل عم بتقول لك زوجتك انا ما بدي اياك.
He's saying you're a man. Your wife tells you I don't want you. He says have some pride and divorce her. Don't force her, divorce her.
ايه
يعني احمي كرامتك وطلقها.
هو راح اعيفها انا بس بدي انا حقوقي.
اي حقوق؟ انت بدك حقوقك؟
Now watch what he says. I want rights. The husband is saying, he says, I will release her, but I want my rights. What rights? What's his right?
اي حقوق؟
نتخالف ما هي مشكلة.
بس المرأة عم بتقول لك المرأة عم بتقول لك ما بدي.
He says the woman, the child woman is telling you I don't want you. The child is saying I don't want you. The child is saying I don't want you, but this filthy, disgusting, evil cult is calling this child a grown woman. Does she look like a woman to any of you?
هيك بدي اتطلق هلا.
ايه خلاص مو بدهم هن هيك خلاص ما عندي مشكلة انا.
الا
كيف؟ عمال معروف انا عندي شغل.
هي عم بتقول لك ما بدي اياك.
عمال معروف
عم بتقول لك ما بدي اياك.
بعرف.
هي موجودة قولي له.
أنا ما بدي إياك.
Man, she's talking for, look at, she found her voice. She says, I don't want you. Divorce me. Ali, divorce me.
طلقني علي. طلقني.
يا استاذ
عم تسمع؟ سمعت؟
فهمان عليك انا بدي مرتي.
شو سمعت؟
في ابني بالطريق عرفت عليك.
He says, I want my wife and child back. You should have just said my child wife. This is why Epstein was given a part of the Kaaba, the cloth of the Kaaba, because it fits in perfectly with his lifestyle. Notice again, he wants his wife and his child back, not his child wife back.
شو سمعت يا علي؟
وما بصير هلا الطلاق عرفت علي.
يا علي شو سمعت؟
عرفت علي ولا
شو
لا؟
سمعت منها؟
بعرف هي مو بدك تطلق خلص انت ايش بدك نحن وياهم نتخالف.
طلقها كلمة واحدة طلقها كلمة واحدة.
ما بطلق انا. شو انت فكرنا ولد البيت؟ ما بطلق انا هيك.
ليه ما بدك تطلقها؟ شو بدك تعمل فيها؟
See now, he's saying, well, divorce her now. He says, no, I won't. Who are you? Why not? What else will you do to her? Ali said, Ali, She doesn't want to go back to you.
يا علي
dude.
هي ما بدها تروح حتى شعر راسها انت نتفلها هي نتف مو مخلي براسها شعرها.
Oh my goodness, you even ripped her hair off. You even ripped her hair off. Now the father is starting to find his feet. That's what it looks like to me. He's finding his feet and he's calling out this guy, going, hang on, dude, you even ripped her hair. You took her hair out of her head. Man.
يا عمي ابو
شعر راسها كانت جديرتها هي طولها مو منها 10 شعرات.
لا هالشيء كله كذب خي. هي قصة شعرها. انت ايش
لا مين قصة شعرها؟
لا انت ايش معرفه خي؟ انت شو معرفه؟
علي
هلا عندي شغل هلا انا بحكي معك بعد.
قضيتك قضية رأي عام يا علي. طلق افضل. طلق وحرر هذه الطفلة من اجرامك يا علي. طفلة عمرها 12 سنة تستنجد.
He's saying, release her from your criminality. A 12-year-old child is begging for help. You better divorce her. Can you imagine what little girl Aisha went through, guys? Can you imagine what little girl Aisha went through with these people?
جد طلقها هلا.
انا بتفاهم انا واهلها وخلص.
يا حو بيا موجود وبيا عم بقول طلقها هلا.
طلقها يا علي.
طفلة عمرها 12 سنة تستنجد العالم. طلقوني هلا.
يا عيني اذا هي انا مرتي بدي احكي معك كلمتين وعن انفراد حدا عنده شيء خلص.
هي ما بقى موجودة عند اهلها. هي بحمايتنا.
خلص هي
Look what he said. She's in our protection. She's in our protection. The host is honestly one of the top guys in this conversation because he's saying she's under our protection. We need to protect her from who? From the Muslims. From Islam. Aisha must have been one of those begging for protection like a guy like this.
طلقها.
ما بدك طلاق.
كون
Hey, come
رجل
on, divorce her, man.
كون
Divorce her.
رجل
Be a man,
وطلقها.
divorce
انا
her.
رجل بدي اطلقها بعدين بس اذا هي
منك رجل. ما في رجل بيقبل يبقى مع مرأة عم بتقول له امام العالم كله طلقني. هي ما بدها اياك.
ما بدها اياني معناتها في شيء معناتها
ما بدها اياك في شيء او ما في شيء. ما بدها اياك.
انا في ابني في ولد بالنص. عرفت علي ولا لا؟
أدن الولد غالي عليك ليش ما جبت لها الدواء اللي كتبته الدكتورة؟
Oh, hang on. Oh, he said, what did he say?
ما بدها اياك في شيء او ما في شيء. ما بدها
انا
اياك.
في ابني.
He says, my child is in the middle. So he's still concentrating on the fact that she's pregnant. The father said, if you care so much about the child, why didn't you buy her the drugs the doctor prescribed? Because every time she got pregnant, the husband sent her back. The husband sent her back to the father. Father saying, hey, dude, see, the father's now gaining momentum.
في ولد بالنص. عرفت علي ولا لا؟
أدن الولد غالي عليك ليش ما جبت لها الدواء اللي كتبته الدكتورة؟
لك يا عم ابو حمود شنو الدكتور ما دكتور اخذنا على الدكتور وقال ما في داعي وخلص.
رح اقول لك شغله. اذا ما طلقها رح نروح نرفع قضيه خلع ونروح على
at least this
المحكمه
guy over
ناخذ
here said
الاجراءات
if
اللازمه
doesn't
كرمال
divorce you,
امل
we'll take
تطلق
her
بطريقه
back.
شرعيه وما تعود زوجته.
We'll take her back. But that's just an example, guys. This is just an example of how Aisha said she's never seen anyone suffering more than the believing woman. She's never seen anyone suffering more than the believing woman. Right? Never seen anyone suffering more. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm going to show you guys another video because, again, this is going to talk about, I'm not sure, but this is part of the Comedy Central, the Sunni tunes, but it's again talking about the woman again. I might just play a few funny ones just to get it started, but I don't know which one it is exactly. But I want you guys to please, if you are Muslim, if anything that we are showing is wrong or a lie or something that is made up, request. Show us that we are mistaken. When Aisha said she's never seen anyone suffering more than the believing woman, was Aisha a liar? Was she making trouble, creating trouble? We do these lives because we love you guys enough to take time out of our busy days to show you that this can't be true. There's something that's not right. Something is sick and evil. It can't be true. Let's listen to this Muppet.
So the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, the righteous dream, that is a good dream, is from Allah, and the bad dream is from the devil.
Okay, that's not the one I wanted, man. That's not the one I wanted. But this is another example of the rubbish that these Muslims are telling us that we need to follow. Please follow this, man. This must be true. I'm just trying to find the one where it's talking about, for example, half the stuff that we've seen so far when, again, about women and beating and let me just see if I can find it. Now, again, on Friday, for those that are not paying attention, on Friday we are doing the Sunni, what's it called? The Sunni tunes, and we will be having a good chuckle when it comes to half the stuff that Islam teaches. The stuff that Islam teaches, we're going to be going through it and having a good chuckle about them. And we know that Islam is a religion that keeps on giving. I think this is the one where the guy.
You have men and women mixing in weddings. The groom comes in front of all the women, and the bride comes wearing her haram.
Okay, I think. Well, this is just an example.
You have men and women.
Sorry, this is just another example of how we have to just accept this religion, right? Watch this.
Mixing in weddings, the groom comes in front of all the women, and the bride comes wearing her haram dress, no hijab.
Her haram dress. The bride comes wearing her haram dress. Notice again. I'm trying to just make it light again because that was a bit heavy listening to that little girl. And I'm just trying to change it off, just take it off topic again, just by showing you how it goes from one extreme to the next and how evil and sick this has to be, how disgusting this has to be. And listen to this Muppet.
No hijab, exposing every awra possible, and she sits in front of non-mahram men, clicking photos, enjoying what they're seeing, and the poor cow next to her is just smiling and proud. Yeah, this is my wife. Ya akhi, fear Allah. Don't you feel like that you're not a man anymore? Where is your jealousy? Let alone, where is your Islam?
What are you saying? What are you saying? What is he saying?
Oh my goodness. So again, I'll find you guys more videos. It just makes me laugh, the fact that each time we have this topic, you know, each time we have this topic, man, it really, you got to dumb yourself down. You got to dumb yourself down, man. Just to accept it. Just to listen to a Muslim accept it.
Can I marry a Christian guy if he converts to Islam? As far as marrying a Christian boy, if he converts to Islam, you can marry any person, whether he may be a mushrik or a Hindu or a Christian or a Jew. As long as he converts to Islam, alhamdulillah, you can very well marry a person, irrespective of the religion he belongs to. But see to it that the person you're marrying, the boy you're marrying, actually accepts Islam. See to it that he follows the principles of Tawheed and he practices the deen. It should not only be a camouflage just because he's in love with you, that he's accepting Islam for namesake. Then there may be a problem in your marriage life and your children. So see to it that you explain to him the deen properly, and
see to it you explain to him the deen properly. What did we just find out? That if you know the deen properly, you will leave Islam. If you know the deen properly, you will run from Islam. But what is he saying? What is he saying? He's saying, no, teach them the deen properly, but just avoid telling them the truth. Because if you tell them the truth, then guess what? They're definitely going to be leaving. You're definitely going to be leaving. Tell them the truth. You can't tell the truth in Islam because the truth will take you out of Islam.
Here are 10 powerful rights Islam gave to women over one.
Look at this child. Look what he just said. 10
Islam gave
powerful
to women.
rights. Please, guys, look at the child in this photo. In this photo, you can see a child covered up. Look at the woman's face. Why do they cover them up at this young age? Is this empowering them or taking away the power? I know, man. The she monkeys get stoned, man. I know that. Look at this child in the video, people. This is Islam. This is what you bringing into your countries. Now, although this has nothing to do with the race, I will say this. When I see a child covered like this, I look at the parents in disgust. They will see it as a sign of, and I'm not a white person, so they can't say that I'm, a white person hating on a non-white. Looking at this child, I would look at the parent in disgust, and I would honestly want to, do something crazy. But look at this child, the child in this picture, and the smile on the mother's face, and the normalization of this filth. The power given to the woman in Islam.
Over 1,400 years ago. Number one, the right to life. Before Islam, daughters were seen as shame. Islam declared, do not kill your children for fear of.
Okay. Look at the mother, or this woman, this ninja thing that came up over here. The security risk on the side there, that security risk. Look at the security risk on the right-hand side and the little one on the left. Evil. Where's the power? How is this empowering? Who is it empowering? The husband, the wife, the child? Where's the empowerment? This is Islam.
Poverty, we provide for them and for you. Quran 6-151. Number two, the right to education. The Prophet
Go tell the people in Afghanistan about the right to education. Go tell the people in Yemen, right to education. The dumbest people in the world are the Muslims. The least educated people in the world are the Muslims. And those that are educated is thank you to the West. Their education comes from the West. Look at this filth and nonsense about this little child talking about giving them the opportunity to go to school. You stop them from education. I was in United Arab Emirates, and my friend and his wife, both are, he's a lecturer, she's a teacher, and their daughter, probably 18 by now, was in school. And I asked her about education, and she says, oh, they tell us certain things and we're not allowed to ask questions about certain things. My friend in Abu Dhabi, she tells me, she's a teacher, that they have to sign an NDA, and they are not allowed to mention certain things, certain topics. They're not allowed to bring up certain arguments, politics, because of what goes on. Not an NDA, but they assign a thing as to what they get allowed to teach the children. So they can't just come up with an opinion. They've got to be careful what they do, because they can be reported and then kicked out. Why? Where's the freedom? Look at this little child.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, seeking knowledge is obligatory upon every Muslim, male and female.
Does this woman look as if she has the knowledge? How do I know that's a female? How do I know that's a lady boy? How do I know that? She's not packing. How do I know that this thing over here doesn't have a kaboom underneath whatever she's got on? And remember, they say, oh, it's our choice. Go to Iran and look at White Wednesday. White Wednesday are the women that are throwing away the coverings because they don't want to walk around like tents. They're not ninjas anymore. The ninjas ended many, many moons ago. These people are pretending to be ninjas. They're walking around like tents, like when you go to the beach in the Mediterranean or on the islands, you'll see the umbrellas. The umbrella standing there looks like it's one of these people. That's how it's covered. It just looks like a woman, like a person standing there. This is the sickness of this religion, forcing these women to cover up and saying to them, "Hey, it's okay. This is your choice. But if you don't, you'll be in trouble."
Women were scholars, teachers, and advisors in early Islam.
In early Islam, show me one imam that's a female, please, sir. Show me a Muslim woman that is allowed to teach men in Islam, that can stand in front of a mosque and pray. Please, I'm not sure, Mufti. Where do I go to find that? Is it the Cape Town, the gay mosque in Cape Town?
3, the right to own property. A woman can buy.
The right to own property. Women have owned stuff before Islam. Before Islam, women own stuff. This thing over here that's walking around trying to focus because she's got this thing covering her eyes, does that look like she's free to do anything?
Sell, and inherit wealth fully independent of her.
See this woman, she's looking at her thinking, you absolute retard. You absolute muppet. You ding dong. What is wrong with you, man? Take care, bro. What is wrong with you covering up like an absolute idiot?
Husband or father. Number 4, the right to choose her husband.
She tapped on the shoulder saying, listen, where's your brain? Where'd you leave your brain? Must I help you find it? Where is your brain, like in your bag? Must I put it back into its place? Because it doesn't seem as if you know what you're doing. Muslims, this is Islam forcing the woman. See her hand? She's supposed to cover her hand because there's men that get turned on by hands. There's men that get turned on by eyes, but they say, no, it's the hair. I ain't never met no man that gets a fatty because he's looking at a woman's hair. I ain't never met no man that walks around going, ooh, I got so turned on looking at her hair last night. I've never met any man that walks around thinking that.
Husband. No one can force her into marriage. The Prophet ﷺ cancelled marriages that were done without a woman's consent. Number 5, the right to dowry. It's her gift, not her family's. Islam made sure women received respect.
Islam made sure women received respect. Did we see that little girl getting respect? Did we just watch a video where the little girl that was married at 12, pregnant twice at 12, did she look like she was given respect? Did she look like she was elevated, that she was loved, that she was given security? She looked traumatized, distraught. She was broken. Did she look like she was given the respect this idiot is saying that the women are given? No, not once did she look like she was empowered. Not once. In fact, she was raped by her husband. Allowed in Islam, once you reach 9, the man can penetrate you without your consent. This is what Islam believes. At 9 years old, the man can penetrate the female without her consent. And he says before 9, if it goes in, if it fits, then you can do dingy dingy. If it doesn't fit, then wait a little while. This is why Muhammad waited since from Aisha was 6 until she was 9, because she wasn't able for it. Guys, I'm quoting the scholars of Islam now. The scholars of Islam said, if a girl before the age of 9 is able for it, and you're not destroying her, ripping her from one hole to the other, then continue to go for it. It's not a problem. But if you hurt her, then stop and wait until she is able for it. But once the girl reaches the age of 9, then you can penetrate her without her consent. Let me show that to you guys, because a lot of people don't actually know this. Let me see. Let me see if I can add it onto this. So let me read for you guys. I'll read just this part over here. And again, this is from Islam Q&A. Islam Q&A. Islam Q&A. The question about marrying prepubescent or young girls. The question on the top was on acting, the ruling on marrying girls, marrying young girls. So again, the question according, now this site gets 10 to 20 million views a month. 10 to 20 million a month, right? An Islamic site. It's called Islam Question and Answers. Look what he says. It says, the fact that it is permissible to marry now they're quoting 65:4. See up over here? They quote 65:4, the Quran. They're quoting the verse, making it look okay. And then it goes on, because now in the verse it says that talking about whether you can divorce a girl who does not have periods because she is young and has not yet reached puberty, right? Now we're talking about why you're divorcing girls that are young and has not yet reached puberty. He says the waiting period is 3 months. So they're telling us about these young girls that are being penetrated before they've reached puberty and now are being divorced before they hit puberty. Quoting from the Quran, Surah 65:4. And again, it's narrated by Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. It says that the properties, the blessings, blah, 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 said Muhammad married her when she was 6 years old. So Muhammad, acting in line with Allah and Islam, married this child at 6 and consummated the marriage when she was 9 and stayed with him for 9 agonizing, torturous years. Right? So now we know that we got evidence now from Islamic sources talking about marrying a girl and divorcing her before she had her first period. Now watch this. The fact that it is permissible to marry a young girl does not mean that it is permissible to have intercourse with her. Now they should have just stopped there, but these idiots don't know when to stop. It says, rather, that should not be done until she is able for it. For that reason, for what reason? She's not able for it. For that reason, Muhammad delayed the consummation of his marriage to Aisha. Why? She wasn't able for it. Al-Nawawi said, with regard to the wedding party of a young married girl, at the time of consummating the marriage, if the husband and the guardian of the girl agree upon something that will not cause harm to the young girl, then that may be done. If they disagree, then Ahmed and Abu Ubay say that once the girl reaches the age of 9, then marriage can be consummated even without her consent. Keep yourselves hydrated. I'll read that again. It says, if the husband and the guardian of the girl agree upon something that will not cause any harm to the young girl, like ripping her from one hole to the back hole, then that may be done. Like thighing. I'll show you guys that what thighing is in a minute as well. Empowering these women by thighing them. Then that may be done. If they disagree, then Ahmed and Abu Ubay say that once the girl reaches the age of 9, then the marriage may be consummated even without her consent. It gets worse. It gets worse. It says, but that does not apply in the case of who is younger. Younger than what? Younger than 9. Malik, Shafi, Abu Hanifa said the marriage may be consummated when the girl is able for intercourse. When the girl is able for intercourse, which varies from one girl to another, so no age limit can be set. So you don't know if the girl is able for it. Now watch this. The only way to know that a girl is able for it is to try to stick it in. If it goes in, she's able for it. If it doesn't go in, then step back, wait a couple of days, weeks, maybe even a month, and then try again. If it doesn't go in, step back, wait again, a day, a week, a month, try again. Muhammad did this. She wasn't able for it with little girl Aisha, and he kept on, but now we'll see why he jumped her at 9. He says this is the correct view. There is nothing in the hadith of Aisha to set an age limit. I'm going to read the rest slowly. Listen carefully. There's 130 people. Listen carefully. There's nothing in the hadith of Aisha to set an age limit. Now listen to this. Or to forbid that in the case of a girl who is able for it before the age of 9. What did it just say? What did it just say? That you are allowed to penetrate her before the age of 9 if she is able for it, or to allow it in case of a girl who is not able for it and has reached the age of 9. You can penetrate them before the age of 9 if they are able for it. If they're able to go in, do it even before the age of 9. It goes on and says to allow it in case of the girl who is not able for it until the age of 9. Then he says Aisha had reached physical maturity at the age when it was consummated, meaning at the age of 9, she was physically mature. According to them, this is why the Muslims are saying this. Sahih Muslim says it is preferable for the guardian not to marry the girl off when she is still young unless there is a valid reason for that. What in the world can be a valid reason for marrying your child to a grown-ass man in his 50s that already has 9 or 10, 11 other wives? It's sick and evil. It goes on. I'll read more because, I want them to say, oh, you should have read everything. It says it is preferable for the guardian not to marry her unless there's a valid reason. Al-Nawawi said it should be noted that Al-Shafi and his companions said it is preferable for the fathers and grandfathers not to marry off a virgin until she's reached the age of puberty, and they ask for permission. Now, why didn't Muhammad wait? That's why I asked the question, what is the wisdom behind Muhammad penetrating child bride Aisha, the little girl at 6? According to this, it says that she was not able for it at that time, and it is for this reason that Muhammad delayed the consummation. So why didn't he penetrate her at 6 when the Muslims say that, ask you that? Oh, if he was such a PDF, why didn't he penetrate her at 6? She wasn't able for it. She wasn't. So if she wasn't able for it, then he couldn't penetrate her. I'm going to show you guys one more thing. And it is called I forget how you say it. Mufakitha. Let me see. There we go. Let me see if I can change it. Do you see why we have to do this topic? Do you see why we have to stop Muslims from bringing in other Muslims? So the question over here, again, we're on Islam Web, so it's a Muslim site, says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you explain to me a thing called thighing? Now, a lot of people have never heard of what thighing is. A lot of people don't know what thighing is. Let's see. The term mufakatha means to have foreplay with the wife in between her thighs. Her thighs. Now people are going, what does that mean? What does it mean to do dingy dingy between her thighs? It is reported in one narration that when the Prophet wanted to enjoy one of his wives who was in menstruation, he would put a piece of cloth on her vajayjay and cover it. Then it goes on saying that if he wanted to enjoy, to mean having all permissible foreplay but avoiding the vajayjay or the backside, like between her thighs. So what he literally does is he puts his willy between her thighs and uses it as a vajayjay, and then parks his boat on the dock. He lets the semen on the chest. Now, this was what Muhammad did. According to this is what Muhammad did. Muhammad did this because he couldn't control himself. Because it says stay away from your wife if she's having menstruation. Could Muhammad control this? Not at all. Not at all. Muhammad couldn't control himself, so this is what he did. Little girl Aisha, at 6 to 9, she wasn't able for it, so what did he do to her? How did this empower the women in Islam? How did this help women in Islam become bigger, stronger, greater, and give them, what did he say? She can her inheritance. Wow, she can inherit what? The docking of a ship and the seamen leaving the boat, entering the port. Evil, sick, disgusting. Does this sound like it's empowering women? Does this sound like oh, this I want now to convert to Islam so that I can do this type of foreplay? Funny enough, I actually met a Moroccan guy that told me he did this with his cousin in Morocco. He actually told me about thighing in Morocco with his cousin. He said that they were doing this because they practiced to last longer. He's passed away now. But he told me that. He did it with his cousin. Never penetrated her, but used to use her thighs. Do you see why we've got to continuously warn people about Islam? That thighing is a part of this religion. Sleeping with prepubescent children is part of this religion. Grape is part of this religion. And then they want to say, yeah, but we've given women the right. Yeah, you gave her the right to be raped. Yeah, you gave her the right to be beaten. This is what we are trying to warn people about. But they want to talk about the Bible. They want to run to the Bible because they petrified of talking about the Quran. Tomorrow, I'm going to do some more research and get some more videos for tomorrow, because I want to continue this at least for tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're doing the Sunni, what was it called? The Happy Friday, the Sunni tunes. On Friday, we are doing the Sunni tunes, where we are going to be playing videos of Sunni hadiths that are absolutely hilarious, ridiculous, interesting, funny, stupid. And we're just going to play videos and we're going to have a chuckle together. That's going to be our Friday. We're going to do that on Fridays. But this again is to show you guys how and why we need to be careful that we don't end up like this with our wives, with our daughters, that our daughters are not subject to this filth and this nonsense, because we have to be able to say enough is enough. No more. And we need to be warning the people around us and saying, we don't want this to happen. We don't want this to happen. Let me play you another video. And again, if there's any Muslim that wants to join, you're more than welcome. If any of you Muslims want to join, you're more than welcome. If you think that we are misrepresenting, we are falsely accusing Islam, please request. I'm showing you what Muslims have given us. We are just repeating what they've said, and we're just trying to, and I'm going to show you guys a Muslim woman as well. Tell us about how great it is to be a Muslim. Because again, I'm not going to just show you the one side. I'll show you what the women say as well. And we haven't even spoken about how they get ridden like donkeys in paradise.
The Prophet Muhammad said, I saw that most of the people in hell were women, Bukhari and Muslim. Why? 1. Ingratitude to their husbands. They forget his efforts and deny blessings. 2. Backbiting. The Prophet said, backbiting burns good deeds like fire burns wood. Abu Dawood 3. Abandoning prayer. He saw heads crushed in hell and was told, they neglected their prayers. Bukhari. This is a warning, not hate. It's a chance to change before it's too late. Say, Allahumma ighfir li dhunubi. Oh Allah, forgive me my sins. Share this now. Someone might be saved by you.
Notice, again, focusing on the woman. Focusing on the woman. Who needs to ask for forgiveness? The woman. The woman get more. The woman, man. Isn't that beautiful? The woman get a warning. You guys need to ask for forgiveness. You guys need to ask for forgiveness. But let's see a woman tell us how great it is to be a Muslim. So I can't have the music, guys. Let me just replay it because I'll stop it, right? So it says, Islam historically granted women more rights than most religions. MashaAllah. Then it says, no such thing, because it says no such thing as 50-50. You have the right to financial support. A woman's husband, father, or brother is responsible for her financial needs, though she can contribute only if she chooses. You're not actually obliged to cook, clean, or nurse children. Doesn't it sound lovely? Why aren't you guys Muslim? Now we're going to look at spiritual rights. Women are equal to men in the eyes of God. Do you see how stupid you have to be a Muslim? Women are equal to men in the eyes of God? Show me one verse. Show me one hadith. It says they are rewarded for their good deeds equally. You can't fix stupid. Both men and women are accountable for their actions and have free will. The right to divorce and marry whoever she pleases. Can she marry a Christian? No, unless he converts. Can he marry a Christian? Yes, because he's the man and the children will follow his religion. Another lie. Divorcees have financial rights. Well, that's fine. A dowry price is her choice alone. BS. The guardian and the father decide the dowry price. Right to own property and education. Islam is the first religion to give women rights of inheritance. BS. Nonsense. Legal and social protection. Islam has strict rules about the mistreatment and abuse of women. Rape is a capital punishment. Didn't we just see in the Quran that you're allowed to grape in Surah 424? That you're allowed to not only grape your slaves, that you can also do adultery and zina, or adultery and fornication? Do you see how these people are so brainwashed into believing this? Brainwashed into believing that this somehow is true. You have the right to work and keep earnings. Fine. Where do you work? You have to work with men, and then you have to cover yourselves, not have any interaction with them. Unlike many ancient societies where women's health belonged to their male relatives, Islam allowed women to work and keep their earnings. Right to consent. Forced marriage is haram. Did Aisha consent? Did little girl Aisha say, I want to marry this old, stinky poo guy? Where was her consent? In Islam, it says silence is her consent. Don't know if you guys know that. In Islam, it teaches her silence is her consent. The right to participate in politics. Women can hold leadership. Again, a hadith says that if a woman is in leadership, then the country will go to hell. The country is bound to fall apart if a woman is in leadership. Man, these people. Historically, women participate in social and political matters in early Islamic societies. Yeah, right. The right to respect and kind treatment, like 434, you can beat your wife. Islam emphasizes treating women with dignity. I've never seen anyone treated more badly than the Muslim woman. Okay, you see how easy that was to debunk? The lies that they come up with, the absolute nonsense, the lies that they are forcing people to believe. They're saying what? The women have rights. Sure, the women have rights. What rights? The right to be smacked. The right to be smacked. That's what. In fact, let's see what rights they have when it comes to this guy.
Is only covering their hair. You might find a woman wearing a t-shirt with her arms exposed, showing her body, and with jeans, but she's covering her hair with hijab, and she considers herself to be hijabi. This is not hijab. Any woman who applies makeup must cover her face, even if she does not believe that niqab is mandatory. Because applying makeup, to all scholars of Islam, is prohibited to be looked at by non-mahram men. So those who do not believe that the niqab is mandatory, they say, yes, the face of the woman is not awra. She can come out, but she must not adorn herself. She must not put foundations or makeup or eyeliners or mascara or maskhara, we call it in Arabic, so touche. So this is not permissible. So to go out wearing makeup is prohibited if non-mahram men would see her. Hijab is not just the cover of the body, it's one aspect of it. The women are addressed in the Quran not to soften their voices so that people with sick hearts would not be tempted and lured by their voices. They're not allowed to wear anklets in their feet that has a sound so that when they walk, men would not find it attractive. They're not allowed to wear perfumes. And if they do and non-mahram men find the smell, it's a major sin. And the list goes on. Why?
I just want to stop there. It's a major sin to have perfume on. Major sin, equal to adultery that Allah allows. Having makeup on, having smelling nice is a major sin, not a minor sin, people. Major sin. In Islam, equal to adultery, equal to murder. Wearing perfume. So you woman, man. You guys are killing people.
Because Islam protects both men and women from one another. And this is why we have to have full segregation, and there is no compromise, none whatsoever.
Full segregation, no compromise whatsoever. Okay, now I'm taking requests from anyone that wants to take the Shahada. I'm sure you guys want to take the Shahada after listening to all this amazing stuff. I'm sure you guys want to take your Shahadas now. I'm sure you guys want to take your Shahadas now. How many, I'm not even joking, man. How many people believe that this is okay? Phil, that's a good question. The reason why there's no segregation on Hajj is because it is a sexual ritual. Extremely sexual ritual. And I say that because they're rubbing up on each other, touching each other. How many women have claimed that they were sexually assaulted on the Hajj? Many, many, many women. Many women claiming that. Because they know for themselves that this is an evil, disgusting, sick, a pagan thing to do. And it's just taking them not towards God, further away from God. This is the craziness of this entire thing, people. The craziness of this entire thing. I haven't even gone. I mean, there's so much. There's just so much. We haven't even spoken about. There's another guy talking about how if she's on her camel and the man wants to do dingy dingy, she has to get off her camel to be penetrated. For those that are not following me, please follow and subscribe. Follow and subscribe. If you guys want to become members, I don't know how to do that, but you guys will know how to do that. Follow, subscribe, become members. Let's make the screen green. And man, let's just keep sharing these lives. Let's just keep growing. But I think I've done enough of this for now. Remember, on Friday is going to be the most interesting. I look forward to the Fridays when we're just going to be playing videos of the stupid hadiths, the ridiculousness of a religion that believes that Satan is big enough to be choked by Muhammad, yet small enough to live in your nose and pee in your ear. So Muhammad was so great, he managed to squeeze the throat of the devil. The same devil was living in his nose. So again, share these lives, share these, especially when it comes to how Muslims behave and what they say and what they believe. I think it's so important that we, and again, a Muslim woman said that to me. She's like, why do we always hear the Christians say it? We never hear the Muslims say it. So how can it be true? So now that inspired me to let Muslims explain Islam. Let Muslims show you the filth of this religion by showing these videos. Beauty. Today we are on Psalm 77. Psalm 77 for those that want to buy me a coffee. For those that want to buy me a coffee, you are more than welcome to buy me a coffee. You can scan the thing on the screen now. If you want to buy me a coffee, it's just a donation towards what we are doing. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you want to buy a coffee, you're more than welcome to scan that and buy me a coffee. And if you can't, pray for me. And that's more than enough for me too. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let me get to the Psalms. Today we're on Psalm 77. Psalm 77. I cry aloud to God, and he will hear me. In the day, my trouble, I seek the Lord. In the night, my hand is stretched out without wearing. My soul refuses to be comforted. When I remember God, I moan. When I meditate, my spirit faints. You hold my eyelids open. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. I consider the days of old, the years of long ago. I said, let me remember my song in the night. Let me meditate in my heart. Then my spirit made a diligent search. Will the Lord spurn forever and never again be favorable? Has his steadfast love forever ceased? Are his promises at the end for all time? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his compassion? Then I said, I will appeal to this, to the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your wonders of old. I will ponder all your work and meditate on your mighty deeds. Your way, O God, is holy. What God is great like our God? You are the God who works wonders. You have made known your might among the peoples. You with your arm redeemed your people, the children of Jacob and Joseph. When the waters saw you, O God, when the waters saw you, they were afraid. Indeed, the deep trembled, the clouds poured out water, the skies gave forth thunder. Your arrows flashed on every side. The crash of your thunder was in the whirlwind. Your lightnings lighted up the world. The earth trembled and shook. Your way was through the sea, your path through the great waters. Yet your footprints were unseen. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Amen. 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 I think that I've had enough of the Muslims today. I'm done with all the hadiths and all the stuff that we've done. And I pray that people are going to share this live. And unfortunately, there was no Muslim to request, but we're good. I will try to appeal on my TikTok to see if they want to join there. But I mean, the videos speak for themselves. Those guests were the videos that we had that pointed to the sickness of Islam. How and why these women are covered is probably because they were beaten, they were abused, they were taken advantage of. And how is that freedom? How does that give these women power? How does it empower them? Why would anyone want to be a Muslim? Why would anyone want to be a Muslim, knowing what Islam has in store for them? You can marry a child, penetrate that child without their consent. You can marry a child, and if it goes in before she's 9, good for you. If not, just wait a bit. Try again. And then try again. Then try again. But when she hits 9, you don't need her consent. And if you have dingy with a girl before her consent, that's rape. So Islam is teaching it's okay to rape. It's okay to commit adultery. It's okay to commit fornication. It's okay to have sex slaves. It's okay to pay for sex. And who is the one that's suffering? The woman. Who is the one that is coming and going? The man. Okay, guys, just humble yourselves. Remove the hate, the pride, the ego. God bless you. Pray for me. Keep me in your prayers. Let me end with a bit of a. I'm actually enjoying this song for now, so let's just enjoy it together.
They call me James, I reducing the stutters. Truth in my grip, watch the narrative shudder. Built on a rock, you built on the gutter. Word like a sword, cut clean through the clutter. Receipts in the text, footnotes ready. Context heavy, doctrine steady. Light in the dark where the mind stay fogged. Name ring bells when the truth gets locked. You run from the cross, but you quote it twisted. Half of a verse, whole meaning missing. I don't shout loud, I reason precise. Grace in the tone, but steel in the vice. James 007 on a mission with scripture. Not for the fame, but to heal what's fractured. Lost and confused, I step in the room. Truth goes boom when the lies meet doom. Boom shakalaka, the word don't fold. Boom shakalaka, truth break mold. Boom shakalaka, light that conquers. Jesus always wins, no imposters. Boom shakalaka, strong and steady. Boom shakalaka, stay truth ready. Boom shakalaka, kingdom come, every life fall when the king ace won. You get to running like boom shakalaka when the scrolls unroll and the facts stack faster. Where you going, bro? Let's go. Stay present. Historic faith, not a myth or legend. Prophets aligned, empty tomb proven. Enemies turn to apostles moving. Martyrs don't die for a tale they invented. Blood seals truth, that's covenant cemented. I don't hunt men, I hunt deception. Tear down pride, build up repentance. Apologetics with heart and fire. Not just debate, I lift you higher. Mercy extended, but lies get checked. Love in the motive, but truth gets said. James 007, sent not hidden. Bringing the word to the lost, forgiven. Boom shakalaka, the word don't fold. Boom shakalaka, truth break molds. Boom shakalaka, light that conquers. Jesus always wins, no imposters. Boom shakalaka, strong and steady. Boom shakalaka, stay truth ready. Boom shakalaka, kingdom come, every life fall when the king has won. Not by rage, not by might, by the spirit, by the light. Cross stands tall through every age. Resurrection turned the page. You can mock, you can doubt. Stone was rolled, hope walked out. History bends, but the throne stays firm. Every knee bows when the king returns. Boom shakalaka, chains break off. Boom shakalaka, death law. Boom shakalaka, truth unshaken. Empty grave, the world awaken. Boom shakalaka, lift his name. Boom shakalaka, Christ reigns. Boom shakalaka, loud and clear. Jesus always wins, that's why we're here.
All right, guys. God bless you. Stay safe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just remember, guys, put Christ first. And we will talk again tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Take care.